Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How are you all doing today? I'm back today here with some more fucking streaming. How's it going? How are all of you? I'm doing well. It's good to see you. Good to meet you. Hello. I hope you're doing well. So we're here today to discuss things, stuff, and other there happenings in anime nerd stuff. I don't know. We're gonna chill and have a good time. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be Yumasuki right here. Yumasuki. But I'm deafened right now, so let's get that Yum Yum in here if she's available. Let's see. Is there a Yum Ye?
No,
No Yum Ye. How's it going, Yum?
only Yim. Boo.
No Yim stay, only Yim go.
Yim go.
Yim go.
Yim climb mountain.
How you doing,
Uh-oh.
Yim?
I am here.
Good. That's a good place to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Nia. Yeah. Anyway, I should probably move that stream alert down since it's behind the wheel. I know.
Can I be an option on the wheel?
But what's the option?
I didn't think that far ahead.
It's like if someone gets you, may have to come interrupt your stream or like grab you and be like, "Hey, you may."
Yeah, I just have to like stop whatever I'm doing. That's all it is. I just have to stop whatever I'm doing, no matter what it is.
You may stop. I need you.
They need you. They won you in a raffle.
And then you have to go off with them for a day or something. I don't know how it works.
I don't know either.
Who can say?
Sorry.
Hope you two have been well. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Right?
Huh?
Vacation, basically, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
off time is close to most people get as vacation.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna consider what I'm doing next week vacation, since next week I'm in California, and like right now I'm just basically editing nonstop. Well, not nonstop, but I've been more focused on editing. But yeah, I'm not working, and I'm not formally working right now.
Yes.
So it's been nice. Yeah.
That's good. How
have you been? You had I saw you were streaming. You streamed after I was already asleep. That was I was very surprised to see you ended at 3 last night. Was it for your time?
Oh yeah, me for my time, yeah. We had a good time. Me, Matt, and Sarge got really into Sons of the Forest. I think it was mostly like the three of us hadn't hung out in a long time.
Yeah. So you just really
Sarah
wanted
hadn't
to be around.
Yeah, we I don't know. We were having fun. Plus, we hadn't seen each other in a while. So
Yeah.
it's just I don't know.
Did you go for like 10 hours?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's impressive. I did not think I know you streamed for a long time. I didn't expect. I'm not surprised that you did that. I'm surprised that Nat and Sari were able to stay up for that.
I mean, they didn't stream the whole time, but
I know they didn't stream the whole time. But, you know.
Yeah.
I thought Nat was pretty tired. When I was watching like the 4-hour mark, Nat seemed pretty exhausted.
They were very tired, but they really wanted to play and they were enjoying the game. And they kept getting bursts of energy because crazy shit would happen.
Right.
I don't know. I usually don't stream. I mean, I stream a while. I usually do like anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, but I usually don't do like 10.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Also, Nia's professor just canceled class, so you're awake early for nothing. But it's great, so I can catch up more work. Yay, work.
Good luck to you, Nia.
Good luck, Nia. That sounds like that sounds like a really fun time, though. You may that game looks really interesting. It's Sons of the Forest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, seems really interesting. Are you just trapped on an island, or what's the? And like, there's a bunch of like weird creatures there.
It's a sequel to another game.
The
So
forest. I know
like,
the forest.
yeah. I don't. I do know it. I don't know the like full story on it though.
I don't
But
either.
so a lot of what's going on, I have no idea. I'll be honest. Other than we were in a helicopter to this place, but our helicopter crashed before we got to the specific,
Right,
part of it we were trying to go to.
right. So now you're trapped in the woods or the
Yeah,
forest.
and then we got to figure out what's going on. There's like bunkers or something. It's kind of like Lost a little bit. Hopefully, it ends better than that.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
I need
we
to
can all hope.
rewatch Lost. I haven't seen Lost in forever.
Did you watch the full
I
entirety of
never got a
Lost?
chance to watch the full thing. So I had Dish Network at the time, and
Oh yeah,
Dish had
Dish.
a sorry.
I said, oh yeah, Dish.
Yeah, I know, right? But so Dish Network had a dispute with ABC during like one of the last, not the last season, but like one of the last seasons, like I think the third to last. And like they were in dispute like that entire season. And then at that point, I was like, well, I don't have any way to really catch up here because it was before streaming, right?
Yeah,
And like the only other options, like I got to go physically buy it.
yeah, or like I don't know, torrent it, and
Yeah,
there's like one person seeding it, and it takes you like 12 years to download it.
exactly. And we only had a family computer at the time, and I was also like 13, 14
Oh
years old.
yeah, yeah,
So like
yeah,
it wasn't something I wasn't gonna learn how to do all that for that, And also I was a
yeah,
Mormon,
no,
so I wasn't like, oh, stealing is wrong.
yeah. I mean, sometimes, but
Sometimes stealing from the Disney Corporation isn't. Anyway,
yeah, no, fuck you, Disney.
Lost is Disney, isn't it? Because it's ABC,
Probably by
right?
now. Probably. I don't know if it was like. I don't know if anybody ever thinks of it as Disney, or
Yeah,
if it was like intended to be. But I mean, what isn't Disney?
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
true. Let's see. Yeah, original network it was ABC, so technically Disney. Yeah, because ABC has been owned by
Cool.
Disney for a very, very long time.
Yeah, that's a weird thought.
Yeah, isn't it?
Lost, my favorite. So like, I could say I don't remember anybody in that show's name, but I could say they're my favorite Disney princess.
Jack, I remember Jack.
Jack, there you go, my favorite Disney princess.
It's an angry bald doctor. He wasn't bald because he had like like a buzz cut. But anyway, um, I don't know. It was a really good. It was. I remember. I have the first season on DVD, and I remember watching it. I remember watching the DVD. The DVDs like 5 years ago. I think. I don't know. It's been a long enough time, or it was a while ago, but like more recently, than like then. And
Yes,
it's just like it's so good. Like the early seasons, especially, are just so fucking good. You're like, it's
they
weird.
had a lot going for them.
It
Yeah,
had, it had. Even when you know the answers to the mystery, like they're just well crafted episodes, and it was on network TV. That's insane.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel uh, there was I feel bad. The show gets poked fun at a lot, and
yeah.
I think the entirety of why the ending hit weird was because like somebody guessed it, and then the main the lead like showrunner writer was like, no, that's not what it is. That's not the twist. And then so
It's
they
this
backed
kind.
out of their own decisions.
Yeah, it's this kind of it's this problem that series have. Any You see this problem happen with Game of Thrones also, and we haven't got to it, but it might happen with One Piece as well. But you have these long running series that'll have all this mystery and world building, and all this build up, right? That causes people to naturally make theories, and that theory culture becomes really important to people. It becomes people's identity in some cases. It becomes something like people's pastime, something fun to think about and consider. And that's a lot of
It's
the
just
enjoyment
a
for
theory.
people. But when you get to the actual answers, I don't even think it's that the answers are bad. I just think it's that people make up stuff in their head, and that it's a mixture of it not being what they thought it would be, and also the fact that now they're no longer able to theorize like that, you know?
Yeah, no, because everything's just not canon at that point.
Yeah, and I think that resentment actually plays into it a little bit, which I don't think is talked about that much. I think it is a part of it, though, that like, fan resentment to the fact that they are no longer able to theorize about something that it's no that they're that whole like. It's funny watching your cat avatar bark like a dog occasionally.
I can't do anything about it.
No, you're good. I don't care. I wasn't saying that. I just think it's funny when it happens. I don't care that there's a dog barking. That wasn't what I was trying to say.
It upsets me.
It's fine.
It honestly does, but
it's fine. It's what happens. But no, I just think that is something that plays in for people.
Yes,
which is weird. It's a toxic environment, but it's just it is what it is.
Well, sometimes people are right. Sometimes maybe the actual thing isn't, as good as whatever they thought in their head.
Yeah,
but that's fine. I don't know. Go make your own show.
Exactly. It's the message to, hey, maybe you have some good ideas that people like. Maybe you should like try writing. Take a writing class. Just try writing for fun or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Just I don't know. Take it as inspiration instead of getting angry and then giving up on the world.
That's how I started YouTube. It's like I had a whole bunch of things that I was annoyed about, and I just started writing scripts and making them into videos. And now most of my videos I don't use scripts, but still, there was like a whole like mindset behind it.
There's a culture behind it too, I think.
Yeah. Anyway.
God, that's weird to think.
Yeah, guys.
Sorry, I just want to say, for most of my life, any sort of like I've done like. I was not. People have called me a theater kid. I was not in theater in school. I have been in plays.
Yeah.
For like summer programs and such. I've done like scripted stuff and people's like, I don't know, YouTube machinimas, like with my friends when I was a kid.
Right.
I've never like enjoyed making like hyper scripted stuff personally.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that some people like just kind of, I don't know, it's a whole different line of thinking to me that I don't get.
As someone who has done a lot of scripted stuff for myself, at least scripted in the way that like I'm scripting out what I'm talking about, especially when I'm on camera. I do like it in the fact that it makes it easier for me, especially in voiceovers. It's so much easier to nail a voiceover when you have a script because like
nail. Sorry.
It's so much easier. And I think I have better voiceovers when they're scripted because I'm able to put more inflection on it and like not think so much about what I'm going to say, but more about how I'm going to say it. And so, like, if you look at the voiceovers for my Blank You Should Watch series videos, those are all scripted. And I think those voiceovers are infinitely better than what I have in my off-script videos. Not that I don't like my off-script videos. It's just that, I like my scripted ones better because I feel like I'm able to be a little more, to put a little
like
more,
articulate.
Yeah, a little more, more articulate, more engaging to listen to. I think. I might be wrong though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Concise is a good
I can
one.
see what you. Yeah, I can see what you're getting at.
Yeah. Speaking of though, the next thing I was actually going to say is that I put out a video yesterday.
Oh.
I
don't know
wow.
why. I thought you were going to say that to me. I don't know why. Anyway, you did. Yeah.
Suddenly
it's about
it comes out. But yeah.
Some 2-part or something.
Yeah. 2 pieces. The hit parody manga about it actually is a manga. I need to read it sometime.
Wow, Siri.
Have you heard of 2 Pieces?
Wait, is that a real thing?
Yeah, it is. There's a real manga called 2 Pieces. It's a parody of One Piece. Also, thank you, Siri. For the
look at this man.
Yeah, look at that. Hold on, I'll show y'all. Hold on.
Oh no, not like 2. Oh shit! I googled 2 Pieces and it's showing me swimsuit. Oh, that one's cute. Sorry. No.
Yes, it will do that. It will do that.
It's a nice purple. Anyway, Two Pieces manga. Okay, let's see this. Oh, it just looks like he doesn't look any different.
Nope.
Smite!
Oh, he's got like a cowboy hat made of cardboard? What?
Thank you, Hidden Treats. Thank you for the smite. Hey, whoa. No, yeah. So, it's like a cowboy hat, I think, instead of a straw hat.
Yeah, like a cowboy. It looks like it's made of cardboard, like a cardboard straw hat, kind of, right?
Kind of does. Yeah. I have not read it. But I know.
I was waiting
it.
for the deep lore. You just made a video on it. What do you mean you haven't read
it? No.
Hang on. There was a screenshot there. It said 2-piece confirmed. Breaking news.
2 confirmed. Here it is. Buffy wants to become a Navy admiral. Oh no.
Oh my god.
No, but for real though, what I did is I made a video of the One Piece live action series, and I'm very proud of it. It's done very well. It's already in my it's like about to hit like the top 10 of my video. I think it either is or is about to become like in the top 10 of my videos, and it's been out for a day and a half.
Yeah.
That's insane. I figured Neha and I were talking about it. She thought that my video was gonna do well because, like, you know, One Piece has been all the rage. But like,
yes,
we're just really surprised at like how well it's doing. Like, how well is that? You know, there we go. There we go.
Speaking like very technically. Oh, I can see your camera control stuff on stream.
Oh, really?
That's weird.
Yeah, there we go. I guess
I feel like you normally can't see that.
No, I'm screen recording, so.
Oh, okay. Oh shit, what was I saying? I feel like you're like, I remember I feel like stuff on Netflix picks up well. Not that your video's not, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, it does. That's true.
Like, I don't know. It's just such a big thing.
Yeah, it's like it's one of the top shows on Netflix right now. Netflix things in general do really well for me.
Yeah, that's
like,
yeah.
Just like any, like 2 of my top 3 videos are Netflix shows, which are no, sorry, Takagi's my second biggest video. What the fuck? Oh no, it's not. I think it got dethroned recently, but weird. Okay. Arcane is my second biggest video from what I'm aware of, and that's a Netflix original series. And then Romantic Killer is my 4th biggest video, and I don't know where One Piece is going to end up. Probably above those at this rate, but which is insane. But they've all, like, Netflix shows just in general do really well. Even if an anime is not a Netflix original, if it's just on Netflix and it's an anime, those videos do well for me too.
Yeah, I feel like some people watch. I'm gonna be real. I feel like some people watch Netflix anime and don't realize, they don't even think about the fact it's anime. They just watch it.
Yeah, I think that's a
people that might even not be like, I don't like anime, and then they'll just watch this Netflix show. You know, like people that don't. I don't know if this happens anymore, but I used to know people that would be like, no, Ghibli's not anime. That's like Disney animation, because, you know, they published it here in the West for a while. Like Ghibli movies in theaters.
Yeah, that's they would see the Disney logo.
Yeah,
yeah.
I wonder if maybe that's why Netflix stuff has such a reach.
I think that's definitely an aspect of it, where it is so. Netflix memberships are like so ubiquitous, you know, for most people, that like it's gonna be the thing you most likely have access to, for anyone. So I think, like,
you probably know someone who has one.
You probably know someone who has one, or you live with someone who does, you know.
Yeah.
There we go.
Because it's been around just.
It's
forever.
like it's like the OG streaming service, so it's like, and it still has a lot of. It has like the most widespreading content. I feel like, you know, like it has. because like if you go to a platform like HBO or Disney Plus, I think is probably the worst. Hulu is the other one that I think is actually competitive with Netflix. But like if you go, because Hulu also has wide variety, but if you go to like a lot of those other platforms, you only get stuff from like those studios. Where Netflix, you have stuff from like every studio and also the Netflix original stuff. So like it feels like you just get more things coming in and out. You know, I don't know.
At least more of a variety.
Yeah,
it's not all samey.
Yeah, exactly.
We're Disney. You know what you're getting.
Disney Plus especially, yeah. Also, Hidden Treaty, you should catch up with Romantic Killer. It's not a very long anime. It's super quick. There's not a season 2. Maybe there will be eventually. I really don't know on that because the anime ended with a to be continued, but there is no second. The manga's done, so I don't know what they was talking about.
Is that where the manga ended?
Yeah, that's
wait.
The anime ended.
Did the anime ended where the manga ended?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then it said to be continued after it.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know. I tried looking it up. Like I tried looking if there was anything announced or like if the manga was continuing or they were doing like one of those things like sometimes they have it where like the manga ends and then it just becomes a manga with the same name except with like an S added at the end.
Like a different name or something. Yeah.
They
sometimes
change the name.
Sometimes it's completely different too, which I never understood. I can't remember. I can think of it. I remember a specific occasion of that happening.
Anime is very bad at keeping names consistent.
No, that's it.
That was sorry. That was it. That was it. I should have just stopped there. But yeah, like anime is very bad.
Sorry, that was just funny. God, yeah, I mean, look at you were making a joke about it, I think, but Devil is a part-timer.
Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind recently, because like it's so stupid. Devil's a part-timer, season 2, ! Season 2.
Yeah, so not season 3, but part 2 of season 2.
Part 2, it's anime is a part-timer, ! Season 2.
Yep.
As opposed to which is the 3rd season, as opposed to Devil's a part-timer. Really dumb, really stupid. I don't know why they do this. Like it's just weird. It's just a weird thing that they just.
Does it make it? Do you think it like sells better? I don't.
Maybe like it's gotta be like the only. It's gotta be the only thing I could think of.
Like they're like, oh, we're buying oh, I love this, and then they buy it and they're like, wait, this isn't what I watched. What? You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Yeah. It's strange. I think part of like it feels like that it's like intentionally to confuse people at times, you know, like to trick people.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, to like be like, oh yeah, this is what you want to buy. Oh, you bought the wrong one. You got to buy the one before that too. Now, gotcha.
I did that with manga before as a kid. So.
Yeah. God, I would just get like random manga from the library, just bring it home and just start reading, and I'd be like on like book 3 and I'm just reading it and like whatever.
Yeah, you didn't care at that point.
Yeah, I'm picking it up. It's fine.
Sometimes you don't need to. Anyway, you don't always need to know the details depending on what the show is.
Yeah.
I don't know, or not the show. The manga, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of series where you just when you jump into it doesn't really matter where you come into it. It's just pretty accessible.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it is like kind of the point with the Shonen Jump format, you know, because it is such like a tome of manga, you know, weekly.
Yeah. Weekly tome. I like that.
Which I wish I could consume manga like that. I wish I had the patience for that, you know, or the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because like it's nice. I think it's nice to be able to open it up and you'd be like, "Oh, I've never heard of this series," and just start reading a series you've never heard of. But like at the same time, who has time for all of that? It's so much reading.
It's a lot. You have to. I don't know. The same thing. I was actually gonna like. I was gonna say this in response to what Treaty said. I feel like you kind of have to make time.
Yeah.
Right. Like just like with anime, I had to make time. That's why I didn't. That's why I never wanted to get into One Piece, even though I was like, that's probably cool.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'd have to make time, and I don't have the time to even start it because that's so much of an investment.
Yeah.
It's like 50-something episodes that was covered by 8, thanks to Netflix.
Exactly.
A third of the time. Yeah.
Exactly. And so like there's a lot of, and like when you get further into One Piece, it's just like every time they call back to something, they do a flashback of the entire scene. It's so annoying. Yeah. But whatever.
It's such an anime thing.
Yeah. The manga doesn't do that, but the anime is just like, well, time to pad.
Yeah, anime is all about padding. They do that too much. It's my biggest pet peeve with every anime. It's not a One Piece thing. It's just anime in general.
No, Dragon Ball Z did that. Naruto did that. Like, even non-shonen animes do that a lot. And it's just like, it's like when you have hi K-Bar. It's like when you have God, you will get into a series and or like you'll watch a movie. The worst part is when it's a movie, right? You're watching like a 2-hour movie, and there's a scene that happens in the middle of the movie, and then you get to like the last 20 minutes, and they call back to that scene that was in real time like a half hour ago. Yep. And you're like, I just saw this.
I mean,
you could just make your movie shorter. You don't need to do this.
Yeah, no. And they're even like, what's it called? My Happy Marriage.
Yeah.
There was a thing that happened like an episode ago, and then the next episode came out next week. There was like a whole like, I'm gonna remember this now, and it was like 5 minutes of what just happened last episode, and I'm like, why?
It's so annoying. It's really annoying when they do that. Cause it's so unnecessary, and it's so frustrating. Cause like,
well, my question would be then: does this help some people? Is it just filler, or does it actually help some people? Like, I gotta wonder.
I think it must help people if they keep putting it in. Like, if they insist on it this much, it must be. And it's not just for Americans. Like this doesn't happen just in American cinema. All over the place. It happens all the time in Bollywood. It's really annoying. Happens in, of course, anime. Is what we're talking about. But like the thing where it happens in movies specifically is, I think, the most glaring part, because like you're watching just like a full like just encapsulated piece, and like you're calling back to things in it. With One Piece and stuff, sometimes I get it, because like that scene in real time happened 5 years ago.
Sure, 1,000 episodes. That's a little different depending on how far back it is.
Sometimes it makes sense, right? In anime, sometimes it can make sense, but in like movies especially is when I get really frustrated by it, because I'm like, I remember what happened earlier in the movie that I'm watching. It's fine.
Yeah, if you can't remember what happened in a movie like an hour, 2 hours ago, maybe it wasn't that good of a movie. Be real.
Maybe
if you already forgot that scene, right?
Yeah.
Seems like a problem with the film, not the people watching it.
It's such a sign that people just aren't confident in what they're making, which is the biggest turnoff from me as like as a viewer, It's like why I think a lot of the anime adaptations, especially the Western ones, don't work, is a lot of the times it feels like they're scared of the source material or how weird anime is, There's this natural, like, okay, we gotta tone down how weird it is, and I'm like, okay, but like some of that stuff is the reason people like it.
Yeah, because it's doing things that you don't see in traditional like live action stuff because it's animated.
Yeah.
So they feel like, hey, I can get away with this. Let's
Yeah.
explore this.
Or just like there's also just like cultural differences, like especially in manga, right? Like when things
Oh
originate
yeah,
from a manga, you don't really have any risk in doing something because you're just making a drawing, right? So like you can make your characters more bombastic, more weird, do different things, do bizarre turns in your story, and then when people adapt that into live action, they either
yeah.
play it straight, which doesn't work because like it's not you can't do one to ones, especially with animated stuff. Like you can't, like if Luffy was going around in the live action series yelling like he did in the anime, no
I
one would watch that show.
hate it. Yeah,
They would hate it.
I would have hated it.
Yeah,
I would have. Yeah,
yeah, because
not
like
awful.
you can't yell like you do in anime in live action. That doesn't work. You can't emote the same way. And you
Um,
don't need to overreact or emote in live action because like you have a person face. You can just be a person,
yeah,
which is like the benefit of live action. Um, but like there's just like bizarre like ideas that anime has. Like
mhm.
what's a good example of this? Like I think Cowboy Bebop. I think is probably one of the things that usually I think of this with like silly characters, but Cowboy Bebop did it actually the other way, where they took a really serious character and made them silly. They took Vincent, like the main villain of Cowboy Bebop doesn't really have a main villain because most of it's episodic, but like
Sure.
the principal antagonist for a majority, a bit of the episodes is Vincent, which is like Spike's like ex friend, trained assassin, uh, hitman for the mob, who's like this stoic, serious, super competent, badass guy, right? And the
Okay.
live
Yeah.
action series turns him into a bit of a man baby. Um, and like they put him in like instead of him being in like 3 episodes, he's in every single episode.
Oh.
And it's they make a huge subplot being his marriage, and it's so annoying because like it has no place in the story, in this noir space cowboy thriller. It has no place in it, but they just insist on taking a character and completely disregarding what they are in the source material and why they are that way because they fulfill a noir aesthetic role, and
Yeah.
toss that and like, well, we need more comedy in this series.
I think they're just trying to fit things that they've seen in like work in like summer blockbusters and shit.
Yeah, that's definitely an aspect of it. Like they have like, oh,
Which
shows
is
in
an
America
excuse.
need
It's
this,
not
this,
an
and
excuse.
this.
Like I don't think they should be doing that. I'm not. I just want to be clear. I'm not like it's fine. They're just trying to. No, it's really stupid.
No,
I
no,
don't know.
it's really dumb. But like One Piece didn't do that, and I think that has to come with a lot of the showrunners respecting and understanding the source material. And I think the biggest thing is that because Oda is the most successful mangaka of all time, without
Mhm.
question, like he's in a league of his own. He's probably the most successful author of the modern era right now, because like how much One Piece has like sold is insane. Um,
It's a phenomena.
yeah,
I mean, much the honestly probably equivalent to like Pokemon.
yeah,
So
and like it's all created by a singular person who
yeah,
who can enact singular control over their product, um, in ways that other creators couldn't. Right, like the creator of Cowboy Bebop, he didn't have any input on the Netflix show. Right, he wasn't
it
involved
shows.
at all. Yeah, and he mentioned as much afterwards. Where he's like, "Yeah, I wasn't involved. Didn't seem like my show. Seemed like shit. I don't know."
It's
um,
kind of
is that good?
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a funny interview where he's just shitting on it. He's just like, yeah, I don't know. I saw parts of it. It sucked, but
Don't watch it.
Yeah, basically.
That's
And then Oda, on the other hand, was really engaged. Was there for answering questions and stuff. Was passionate about the project. Was a key part of it, and also was just like a gatekeeper for his world. And I think that's the thing that shows the most is that Oda refused to let them to let any executive overrule him on how One Piece is going to be interpreted or adapted.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the thing, and he's the one guy who can do that. You know.
Oh yeah, because he has sole rights to the property. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his.
Which is that doesn't happen like ever.
Yeah. I mean, like the only other thing is like Star Wars, and that like Star Wars when Lucas owned it before the Disney sale.
Yeah.
And
but he sold out.
Yeah. And
legitimately.
Like, he did.
Anyway.
He did. To as he puts it, white slavers.
What?
Have you heard that? He did a Charlie Rose interview where he said that he sold it to Disney and called them white slavers.
What?
That's a true
I've
thing.
not heard that.
It's a real quote from him. Hold on, I can pull it up.
That's fucking bizarre. That's really sideways. What? Why did he sell it then?
He sold it because he was. I mean, I think he sold it, and I think he would probably agree with this. He sold it because he was fucking annoyed with the backlash from the prequels. And just tired. I think it's a lot of it. He was tired with the backlash he got. He was tired with the source material. I think he always still has like love for it, and it's always interesting hearing him talk about Star Wars. But like I think he definitely reached a point where he's like, "Fuck this! I'm just gonna go raise my kids."
Yeah, no, I got money. I'm just gonna go do other shit. Yeah. Goodbye.
Exactly. Here,
I can throw my name behind projects that I think are cool, and you can have this thing. Nobody likes what I do with it.
He did always say, and I do admire him for this. He did always say that what he wanted to do was just he always wanted to just make like independent films, make small films, you know.
Yes.
He's an interesting guy. I think he's very unique in Hollywood.
To blow up like it did.
No, I don't think he ever expected Star Wars to be his life. I don't think he regrets that though. I don't think he has regrets on it, of course, because he's a billionaire. But like, you know, yeah. I definitely think that it's not what he saw himself doing. But also, let's see this interview.
The stories. And
I just realized you are sharing the screen.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I cannot watch this with you, my friend.
Let me know when you're in.
You'll hear me go. Poo-doo.
I can't hear you because I've got I'm in streamer mode. I'm streaming it up.
I am.
We want to make something for the fans.
That is
so I said all I wanted to do was tell a story of what happened. You know, it started here and it went there, and it's all about generations, and it's about the issues.
Oh, sorry. I was just going. You in?
Your share? I can't because I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No, not on my end.
No, the audio's on.
Oh, you're not. You're sharing like your window. Weird.
I'm sharing. I'm sharing Firefox.
Okay, I turned the volume all the way up. If you want to try again.
The fathers and sons and
grandfathers.
It's a family soap opera. I mean, ultimately, space. We call it space opera, but people don't realize it's actually a soap opera, and it's all about family problems and that. It's not about spaceships. So they decided they didn't want to use those stories. They decided they were going to go do their own thing, and so I decided, fine, but basically, I'm not going to try to. They weren't that keen to have me involved anyway, but at the same time I said, I'm not going to, if I get in there, I'm just going to cause trouble because they're not going to do what I want them to do. So, and I don't have the control to do that anymore, and all I would do is muck everything up. So I said, okay, I will go my way and I'll let them go their way. And it really does come down to a simple rule of life, which is when you break up with somebody, first rule is no phone calls. The second rule, you don't go over to their house and drive by to see what they're doing.
Yes.
The third one is you don't show up at their coffee shop or the things that you're going to run in. You just say, no, gone, history, I'm moving forward. Because every time you do, and we all learn this from experience, every time you do something like that, you're opening the wound again. And it just makes it harder for you. You have to put it behind you, and it's a very, very, very hard thing to do. But you have to just cut it off and say, okay, end the ball game. I got to move on. And everything in your body says, don't, you can't. And these are my kids. So
All those Star Wars films.
all the Star Wars films.
They were your kids.
Yeah, well, they are right. I loved them. I created them. I'm very intimately involved in them, and
I think a couple of them nearly killed him.
Yeah.
Thanks for the romantic relationship advice, George Lucas. George Lucas is a pretty interesting guy. I like hearing him talk about shit. I don't agree with him on a few things. I think he can be a little weird. I mean, more than a little, but he is interesting to listen to.
He's weird in a fun way.
Yeah, he's weird in an engaging way. It's okay.
As far as I know, he's not
a
it's
creep.
not problematic either. He's just kind of a dude. He's just around. I don't think he was public enough to be problematic, other than some people said they didn't like working with him, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I think he could be really weird. And I think the one thing that I always hear about him was that he's just a bizarre guy who just does what he wants to do. And he's very matter of fact.
I'm like that sometimes. You are.
Yeah.
Yoshi's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
We're doing
I
what we
respect
want.
it. I respect it.
Yeah.
And he. Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, continue.
He had one of the things I really admire about him is he had a huge fight with a bunch of NIMBYs in his coastal California, not coastal, but his California area where Skywalker Ranch is. He wanted to build a whole bunch of affordable housing, and the NIMBYs in the area refused to let it go through. So he's had a whole fight over them with them in order for him to build affordable housing in the area, which I think is interesting.
Oh, wait, NIMBY?
NIMBY is in not in my backyard.
Oh, okay, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, got you.
Yeah.
obviously to
And
sell
you
them
sold
off.
them.
I sold them to
Colloquially,
the
yeah.
white slavers that take
Yeah,
these
there it
things
is.
and
Okay, but I mean,
slavers that obviously to
and
sell
you
them
sold
off.
them.
I sold them to the white slavers that take these things and
Yeah, just a weird comment.
Yeah, I think he started laughing immediately because it was like, why did I say that?
I think he knows it's
People
an
are gonna remember
absurd
this
thing to say. I think he's half joking the entire time. But
I know, well, because he's equating it. He's saying he sold his children to white
Yeah.
slavers, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Anyway,
he's a
thanks,
weird
George
guy.
Lucas.
He's a weird guy. I mean, he made a movie where basically he
Well, the thing I wanted to say, just real
Yeah,
quick,
go ahead.
I don't. Not that none of his works before, he made plenty of films before this that did well, for various reasons, whatever. Nothing was humongous to the same,
it was THX
Same
and
with
there was
Star
also
Wars
and it was
was.
American Graffiti were the big ones. I'm aware.
Yeah.
Of.
American Graffiti was the big one that
Yeah.
that even jump started some people's careers, but that still wasn't that big.
Yeah.
Most people probably haven't seen that to this day.
No, I think it's one of those movies that was pretty big. I think at the time, but it hasn't its legacy hasn't carried through. I think part of that,
Yeah.
of course, has to do with George Lucas being the Star Wars guy.
Yeah, if Star Wars didn't get so big, maybe he could have done some other stuff. I mean, there's other stuff he's been a publisher for, give him money towards the project, but nothing he.
The stuff he's backed. Yeah.
Yeah, he's backed shit, but nothing that he's actually.
It's weird looking at his IMDb and just all of his direction stuff is just it's THX. I think it's THX. It's American Graffiti, Star Wars: A New Hope, and then the prequels. and that's it.
Yeah, he really hasn't done too much. If you
Yeah.
think about it, which is weird.
It's
How
odd.
much
It's
people
odd to think
mention him.
about him because like I always think about him as a director, right? But like when you like look at his career and like what his credits are in, he's kind of not, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like he is, but like directing, of course,
Ooh.
is not his best skill. Is not his biggest skill.
No.
His biggest skill is as a writer and is as someone who has a conceptual understanding of a world that he's created. You know.
Yeah. World building.
Yeah. He's one of the great world builders. Oda's one of the great world builders. Also Tolkien. You know, but like these kind of guys are just like. They're really good at building a world that feels all encompassing, you know? So like and like you always feel like you have more questions, you know, and you always want to learn more. Like and not everything is given to you, but like you understand enough of it that you're just like, I want to know more. I want to learn more.
Yeah. I do want to, in my opinion, just small aside, I feel like, for me, maybe other people won't agree. I feel like Arakawa is another great world builder, but FMA didn't. I don't know. I feel like that world's really well thought out.
Oh no, Arakawa is great.
Yeah.
I think
I know I didn't get. Yeah, but
I think with Arakawa, probably the thing with it is that we didn't explore much outside of Amestris.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were quick to move away from that in their subsequent works.
Yeah,
I
they
was a
never
little
really
sad
went.
about
Yeah.
that.
I mean, they go from writing Fullmetal Alchemist and they went right to a farming manga. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen any of that. It's
I
kind of
haven't.
funny,
I
but
haven't.
it's written well. It's kind of funny, but it's just it's good. It's just I don't know. Maybe I don't know why. I guess they. Well, I do know why they wanted to like tell about their life, but
Yeah.
before they became mangaka. But I don't know. I think they should have capitalized on that. I think she should have.
Yeah. I think that would have been. I mean, it definitely would have been. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, random tangent. But
Sorry, the TikTok I tried to post today didn't actually post for some reason.
didn't like you.
It doesn't like me. Anyway, I'll try it again. But no, it like the I think with her, she's just like she had such a successful series. It's like fuck it, I'm gonna take some time off, do something chill, because I can't imagine being in the grind of making a long running manga. You know.
Yeah, or even. Go ahead.
No, go.
Oh, I just like to go back to George Lucas. It's he did think up a great world, sure, but a lot of the grind of that was actually a lot of like the extended stuff that other people did.
Yeah.
Which some of it was like incorporated into that later on, especially after Disney.
Yeah. When
bought
Disney's
it,
like,
but
oh, we need ideas.
a lot of people just ran away, or like literally just ran with some of the ideas he gave,
Right.
because it was, you didn't have big popular sci-fi universes like that.
No, and like you didn't have big popular sci-fi universes that that average people could get into, right?
Yeah, you had Star Trek, which, especially like the older stuff, was a little hard for. There's the nerdy aspect. There's some aspects of like misogyny. So
Star Trek's too geeky. This world has a bunch of world peace in it. They're basically space communists. Come on now.
yeah, there's a lot. Just whereas Star Wars, you got like Han Solo, man.
Yeah, and then like you have the other things like I mean you have like a bunch of literature like worlds, like space worlds, like Dune and Discworld and all that stuff. But like all that feels like really
Asimov's stuff. It's all interconnected. Yeah.
And like that's just it doesn't feel as whether this perception is true or not, it doesn't feel as accessible for people, so it doesn't get explored as much.
It's harder to represent for some reason. People haven't had any success bringing any of those things to other mediums.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the fault of the directors, David Lynch. But
I think there's two things that come into it. I think the new Dune is pretty good, actually, but I do still
need to see
feel
it still.
that. Sorry?
I need to see it still.
Yeah. I think it's pretty
I
good.
never really do.
But like I mean, I definitely don't feel like the world itself is as deep. You know, it doesn't explore the world as deeply, and which like it's a half a movie. You know, it's like
Yeah.
half of the story, so like that's understandable. But I think the thing that makes Star Wars different is Star Wars was made for movies, right?
Yes.
Star Wars was made for the screen, has always been a visual medium that also took from so many other different stories and different other cultural influences, other movies, other shows, other series that existed, and the blending of that together. Not the first person to say this, of course, but like the blending of that together in a visual format makes it more accessible for people because it obviously lends itself to being on screen because that's its origin point, right?
Yes.
And so it just feels really natural and goes from there. Neil Gaiman is probably your favorite fantasy author. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was trying to think of like other. The only other thing I can think of is I don't know what the reception was. I haven't watched it. Like sci-fi book to, it's like a recent thing too. It would be like the Three Body Problem. I think didn't that get adapted into a Netflix
What's
thing?
it called?
The Three Body Problem.
The Three.
It's a classic. No.
No, I know. The Three Body Problem is an upcoming science fiction series created by David Benioff. Oh, really? And it's coming January 2024.
Yeah. Just the original author. I don't know. It's just one of the. I have hopes that that'll be. Well, there's some stuff.
One second.
Tales of Earthsea.
Oh yeah, Tales of Earthsea. Even. Oh god. Anyway, Treaty. I haven't seen a whole bunch of Gaiman stuff, to be honest. I want to see the Sandman series. I haven't yet. Sandman's always been like a thing. Like I wanted to read the comics, I couldn't get into it. I want to watch the TV show. I haven't seen it. I have watched What We Do. No, not What We. What am I saying? It's the one with David Tennant. The Amazon series with her. Yeah, Good Omens. I've seen all but the last episode of Good Omens, and I don't know why I stopped on the last episodes, but I do want to see those. I do like a lot of things they do there. But also High Oatmeal Koala, and also Cringing Crisis. There will be anime body pillows when you deserve anime body pillows.
Crisis deserves a kick in the pants.
That's right, they do.
The only Neil Gaiman stuff I've read that I really enjoyed, I did read Good Omens. I thought it was funny. I didn't really super like it. Coraline and
oh yeah,
the Batman book he wrote.
He wrote a Batman book?
He did, yeah. He did Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader. He's a writer on that.
Okay. Gaiman's always been like a weird figure to me. We deserve to be able to sleep with Natasha. Listen.
I thought it was interesting.
He's an interesting creator.
He's funny, I think.
Yeah. I've never been able to fully get into a lot of their works. And it doesn't help that I don't read as much anymore, which I wish I could read more. I wish I had the patience and time for it, but I don't, to be honest. Like I don't have enough time to watch the anime that I want to watch. I'm sorry, books aren't going to get in there.
Yeah. I was talking about this on my own stream the other day. I do have some books that I read, but I'm reading them so slowly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading 2 different physical books. I have not progressed more than 2 chapters in each over the past 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
because I
understandable.
just can't find the time.
Yeah.
But I finished one audiobook in the same amount of time. Because that's easier to get through.
Audiobooks
I can
do.
I can video edit, I can draw, I can do whatever, and I can just anyway.
Audiobooks I do fuck with, but most of them you have to pay for. So
That's true. But anyway, my point was I agree with you. It's difficult.
Also, Crisis, you're a nerd. We do deserve to sleep with Natasha, but we're just not there yet. The technology's not there.
It's kind of lewd.
Kind of. And American Gods, I think American Gods is on Hulu, is why I haven't seen it. That feels like one of those series that like there's like a set number of series. I'm like, I want to watch this with somebody. I don't want to watch it by myself, And like that's one of those series for me. I'm like, I think if I had someone else to watch this with, I would get through this fast. But I don't know, just I can't get over the hump to start it on my own.
I'm really dumb.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention I
Yeah.
I don't want to say it now. Never mind.
Say it.
I don't
Say it.
the one book I'm not even gonna the big book he wrote.
The big book.
He wrote a big book for a big series. Not a big book. A book for a big series. That I enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy companion piece.
Okay.
Anyway, I can't believe I forgot that was written by him. Sorry. Continue.
No, you're good. You're good. Mood been picking up manga and manhwas again lately.
Manhwas. Yeah.
Manhwas. I've actually been watching. I've been watching a couple K dramas with Neha. She's gotten into a few. I started watching Business Proposal last night with her, which is actually pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it. I'll talk about that in a second. But
I was hoping it was bad.
What happens is Neha will like watch an episode and be like, I want to watch this with Connor, and then she'll go back and we'll watch it together. Yeah, it's just cute. Anyway, nobody on the house cares, so I just watch by myself. Yeah, I mean, I live alone, so like I also just don't have anyone else to watch with. Hitchhiker was no wonder the
No.
Yeah.
Not sorry. Not the Hitchhiker's Guide was written by Douglas Adams.
Yeah.
I think he wrote a companion book, like a side story in the universe. It's like a bunch of radio stuff.
Yeah,
it's like
not the
stage
series
plays and
itself.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the original Hitchhiker's Guide. No.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably just catching like the familiar British humor.
Yes.
Kind of like
and
that.
I like British humor, so if people, yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on Monty Python shows and like Faulty Towers and all that shit. There's a lot of really good British, a lot of good pieces of British humor. I guess you gotta find a way to make light of how bad your food is. Anyway,
they would appreciate that. See,
yeah.
Except you backed out of it like a coward. Go ahead.
No. I don't know, but yeah, it's. I wish I had more time to read. I wish I had more time for manga. The main thing I need though is I need more time to watch anime, because like even right now, right when I'm not working, right? This is my first week where I haven't worked at all. Like today has been 1 week, right? It's been 7 days of freedom. And in that time, I have not had a chance to actually sit down and watch anime at all. Like I watched one episode of One Piece, and I watched One Piece Film Red after I finished editing my One Piece video. So I've been hard stuck on a little bit of One Piece, but I have been able to watch like Zom 100 or like My Happy Marriage or a few other things I want to watch, and it's just been like I'm so tired.
I don't blame you. I don't think I mentioned it yet, and I don't know how. you keep talking about One Piece. I have started watching here. You want me to tell you where I'm at? You want me to open up Netflix?
Please do.
Because I'm actually
Yes.
just watching the anime now.
Please inform me.
Yeah. Let's see if it'll load. I'm not very far. You'll be disappointed.
No, I will not be disappointed.
I am episode 71.
Why would I be disappointed in that?
I don't know. Because that's not that far from where the show ends.
Oh, that's all
And I
good.
also I skipped the stuff with what's her face. I read up a summary on it. It seemed really boring.
What's her what's
dragon stuff. Right
Oh
before they
yeah,
get-
no, fuck that. That's all filler.
That seems super boring, and I'm glad I skipped it.
Yeah, no, that's boring as hell. Don't bother with that shit.
Okay, good. That's what everyone else said.
I hate it. There's like one part of that. The worst thing is one of my I have a scene in there that I actually do like, but because like it's from the manga, but they retcon the anime changed it to include her so they could add it as part of this arc. But it's when they go into the calm belt, and they explain what the calm belt is.
Yes.
Did you see that part?
No.
No. Okay. So there's one episode in that sequence that's like a 5-10 minute chunk that's actually important, where they talk about the calm belt, because in One Piece, right, it's a world with one stretch of like actual land, a world with a bunch of islands, one stretch of land that circles it along the prime meridian, and one the Grand Line, which is a ridiculous ocean that goes around the equator, right? And what brackets the Grand Line on both sides is the calm belt, which is a sea that has no wind and no tides. So when you go into it, your ship just stops moving. And it's also the breeding ground for sea kings. So it's filled with sea monsters. Huge sea monsters. Like
huge seamen. Sorry. Yeah.
So like all the giant sea monsters you see in the beginning of like the first intro, a lot of those are in the calm belt, and it's basically an impassable sea. But yeah, I forgot the thing I was gonna say. Yeah, the calm belt. I love that little aspect of it. It's not that important, you know. Like as long as you know how the calm belt works, it only comes up a few times in the story. But like it's good to know about how the world works. But like you know.
Well, they reference back to it like very shortly, like and then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like kind of. They don't like go into in depth like I guess that scene would have, but so that's interesting.
And that's like the one thing they just folded that canon piece of information into a non-canon story. That sucks. I don't like that series. I don't.
I
like
like the wiki.
Yeah.
It says it's like one of the episodes in the middle of that arc that I skipped, and then you don't hear about it again till like way later.
Yeah.
Like they don't give it like later. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. It's that's One Piece though. There's things that you've already experienced that are not going to come back until episode like 400. So.
Yeah, I hope that Connor.
Yeah.
Connor, did they go back for the whale?
It hasn't happened yet, but there are more things.
No!
There are more things about the whale though.
Okay.
There are more things that come out about the whale that are really cool.
Okay.
So
I feel bad. He's so sad.
There's interesting. I'm not going to spoil it, but one of the characters is connected to the whale, and they will come back later in the series.
Okay, I'll be happy about it in 5 years.
You will be. You will be. Trust me. But like the I like watching it on Netflix. I feel like it really it's pretty easy to watch One Piece on Netflix. I feel like because it just like a lot of the in between stuff is cut out. But yeah, the whale one is one of the things that made me sob in One Piece. Yeah, the Laboon side of the story really hits you.
Yeah, but Laboon, thank you.
Laboon.
Yeah. Also, one thing I'm liking about watching the dub, I don't usually watch dubs except when it's a large show because it helps me get through it if I can look away sometimes.
Got a good dub,
so many, good dub. Well, that's actually what I'm going to go with. A lot of the voice actors are the exact same ones because of when this started, when this was made, and they still have their roles till today, as far as I'm aware. A lot of the same voice actors from both Full Metal Alchemist animes, so I feel really happy just listening.
Yeah,
like Colonel Mustang.
You have
You know?
you have like some of the best voice actors as the Straw Hats, you know.
Yeah.
And like every
Even
role
some
is actually
side
pretty good.
characters.
Yeah, like there's a lot of really good voice actors just in a lot of different roles in One Piece, and like all of the main crew is really talented, and just like I don't know, it's a really well done dub. I love it, and I'm really it makes watching it a lot more feasible for people, because like that is a thing, like being able to watch something in dub just makes things go by faster, especially a show like One Piece.
Yes. Also, just because I see you have the One Piece live action thing on the screen, or at least on my screen, it made me think of. I like the actor they picked for Luffy, and he was also in another Netflix show I like called The Imperfects. That's all.
Oh really? What's The Imperfects about?
Uh, like teenagers get DNA put into them unwillingly, and they become basically like what's the right word? Like Mothman, but not Mothman. What's the term for that kind of stuff?
Cryptids.
Cryptids. Yes, they basically become cryptids.
Oh, interesting. That's weird.
He basically becomes El Chupacabra, and I'm like,
Godoy.
And I'm just, it's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very fun.
He was also in a series called Mex Zombies.
I didn't know about that.
I wonder what that's about. I'm assuming Mexican zombies.
Zombies in Mexico, perhaps. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Is that the White House behind them, or?
Yeah, that's the thing I'm a little confused about.
This is a very, very aside. Do you ever think about like the White House just kind of looks like a plantation house?
I think this is just like a really nice house in Mexico.
Yeah, I think so.
But like they have like the same design principles.
Yeah. This about the, I think he just kind of, these are like his first two roles in. Interesting. Yeah.
It's his first. A lot of the cast, a lot of the main cast is not stuff you'd seen from a lot of stuff.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Except Makino, the actor for Zoro. He's actually just in a whole bunch of other actual live action adaptations of anime. Like he's the main character in a Knights of the Zodiac adaptations coming out, or I think has come out.
Knights of the Zodiac. Sorry,
I know, right? He's in Rurouni Kenshin. I didn't know he was in Pacific Rim Uprising. That's odd. He's Scar in the Full Metal Alchemist movies?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Huh.
I thought I recognized him. He's in a lot of stuff, but I mean, I was like, I remember seeing him in the Full Metal Alchemist movie. I watched one Full Metal Alchemist movie, and I was like, never again.
No, same. I watched the first one. I actually did do a video on it also, but I was like, I'm done.
But no, all I was gonna say was these are his first two shows that are not like in on Mexican streaming services. They're like in filmed in the U.S. I just thought that was interesting. Both of those two shows that I know of, which I guess because of what I get marketed. That's interesting.
You know what I didn't know actually till someone till like well after I was like starting to edit my video is that I did not know that Morgan Davies was trans.
Who?
The person who played Kobe. He's a trans mask.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I had no idea. That's cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just saw people making weird comments about it. I'm like, you wouldn't have even known if you didn't look that up, buddy.
They would not have. No, they would not. Most people wouldn't.
No.
Exactly. And then it gets put in the wiki, and There was actually one thing I remember. Some people talking about with Lena Raine, because I guess some people didn't know that, and as soon as they, learned, it became a big thing. It wasn't a big thing when Celeste was made, and then it kind of got put out there, and then suddenly people had a problem with Lena Raine, and then that whole rumor spread about not wanting their music to be heard.
Really?
On Twitch, yeah, some people theorize it was related to that.
Okay. That's so strange.
That she
Here's...
wanted people to be struck down for using her music.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
I remember the whole controversy.
Which was not true at all.
Really?
But,
I didn't know that wasn't true. I barely knew what was going on, but I remember people talking about it. I didn't know that wasn't true. That's crazy.
yeah, I guess you wouldn't because you're not in the Minecraft space, huh?
No, I'm not. I'm not connected.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
But I remember like Nat, you and Yosh talking about that. I think, and like Mako, I think, all talking about it in a voice chat, and I was like, yeah, I'm listening.
It I just to finish this since I brought it up.
Yeah.
It was there was one accidental occurrence of copyright claim by Microsoft,
That happens all the time.
Lena Raine was like, "Don't do that. My music, yada yada." It was fine. But
I see.
After that, people were like, "Oh, they don't want their music to be heard."
So people just jump to weird conclusions off of the copyright system. That's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah. So anyway,
I mean, you can find copyright-free music that's listed as copyright-free in YouTube videos, right? They'll be like, "Here's some copyright-free music you can use. If you get copyright struck for this for some reason, just contact us and we will help you."
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah,
really
it does,
sad.
because the content ID system isn't perfect. And people who
it's garbage.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's not. There's a lot of problems. But what was it? I was gonna get to another point here, but
we're talking about the actors for One Piece.
Yeah, we were, and I don't remember what I was gonna say. I think I was gonna. I don't know. A lot of these characters did a lot of these actors and actors did amazing. I really love Jacob Gibson as Usopp.
Yeah.
He really nails his vibe, and I think translates it in a much more natural way than the anime has him, or the manga. It feels like he's the right level of goofy, and also has a.
He's overly goofy and cowardly in the manga and anime. I don't know. He's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So.
He nails the balance between being goofy and being fun to watch.
Yeah, and he's also, I don't know. This might just be a thing with live action stuff, which maybe is why it translates better. I don't know. You can see, even when he's being goofy, you can still see in his face some of the seriousness come through, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense.
You're able to have a little more complex emotions because you're looking at a person's face.
Yeah, whereas with an anime, unless you get hyper detailed close up, you kind of got to use very exaggerated emotions.
Yeah, and even then, if you look at anime characters' faces, it's not, there's not a lot of detail. You can't see small little things that you can't frame small things that you can in a live action thing, where there's small tells that will let you that key people into different kinds of feelings and emotions a person has, that you can do non-verbally. You can't really do that as much in anime. You have to do more full body stuff. You have to have
they lick their lip very dramatic. Yeah, but that's a common thing, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's like what you're saying, very small. I don't know, maybe you see them twitch kind of very slightly, but you can't do that in anime. You got to over exaggerate it.
Yeah. It's the difference between TV acting and theater acting, because theater acting, you have to play it big for the people in the back, and then for TV acting, you got a mic in front of you, so you can be quiet, and you do a bunch of takes.
It's why I don't scream and Yosh does.
Yeah.
I do scream, but you get the idea.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I don't know. I don't know. I like the cast they have for the One Piece series. I really love Jeff Ward as Buggy.
I thought that was really that was my first introduction to Clown Man, and I thought that was perfect, honestly.
He does a really good Buggy job. He does a really good job as Buggy.
Yeah.
He's.
I kind of, as somebody who started the anime later, I kind of prefer him to the anime more. But
yeah,
like everybody else,
actually,
everybody else, I've been like, oh, this is cool. But I just kind of like his interpretation a lot.
You know, the funny thing is, Buggy is Oda's favorite character. So of any character I think would get more screen time, it's gonna be Buggy.
Well, and he just shows up forever, right? Like
Buggy does come in and out of the story pretty frequently as it goes on.
You know, I'm going back to this because this is the show that I stuck with me for a long time.
Yeah.
This kind of reminds. I think I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me. I remember Arakawa saying Envy was like their favorite character, and that also kind of shows.
Yeah.
Because they just show up all the time, even though there's really no reason. They just make sure there's a reason for them to be in the story, and the same kind of thing I'm assuming happens with Buggy, and I like that.
No, that definitely does show. I didn't know that, but saying that it makes total sense because Envy appears so much, and like as opposed to like, I guess, mild spoilers for Full Metal Alchemist, as opposed to like Lust or Sloth, not Sloth, Rust or Gluttony. You know, when they get killed off, they get killed off, but like Greed and Envy stick around for a very, very long time.
Unless you're talking about the Greed dies real quick in the original anime, doesn't he?
He sure does.
That's not even a spoiler. He just dies right at the beginning.
Oh God. Because I still hate that.
We can just openly talk about spoilers for like at least the first one, right? That's such a show.
No, it's 2003. Like Edward ends up in pre-Nazi Germany.
Which I know we have different opinions about this, but Arakawa did have a lot of input on both the movie and the 2003 show. They let people have creative freedom, of course, but so they knew that there was going to be Germany Nazi stuff, and they were okay with it. And I'm like, okay.
I just think it's just a creator being okay with it is fine, but like it is such a bizarre jump.
It's weird. It was weird.
Like it's such a weird thing to say. Oh yeah, I really like this anime, but at the end there's a movie where he ends up in Nazi Germany. So pre-Nazi Germany, sorry, Weimar. The Weimar Republic.
I like both of them equally. I still don't like that movie very much. So
yeah,
that should say something.
I started dating my first girlfriend during that movie.
Like in the theater?
Well, we were watching it at her place, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Just like mid-movie. You want a date? Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I look, there's Nazis. I know.
It works. You know, have you ever seen you ever seen the first Indiana Jones movie? You know, you got, and the third one. You know, well, I guess not the third one because she was a spy. But the first one. Sometimes you're in that situation. It just things happen. Anyway.
Yep.
God. Anyway, but
Buggy.
But yeah,
Buggy.
Buggy was a great part of the adaptation. I really love what they did, and there's such a ridiculous character. I'm really interested. I hope that they get post time skip in the live action. That's a big ask. I don't know if they're gonna make it to that, but if they do,
I think if Netflix can stick around and all, can stick around during all this, turbulence of streaming services, if they can, if they can prove they have the sticking power, I think it will.
I think I think I said One Piece. I think Netflix has this like weird. Netflix is this weird thing because, like, on one hand, it's the one service that people bitch about the most, but on the other hand, it's because that's the one that most people have. You know.
Well, I think a lot of people are questioning: do we have it because it's good, or is it because it's the first one and we just kind of kept it?
Yeah. And I still argue that even if there is some problems with the originals, with some of the originals they put out, more often than not, yeah, it is. If I am going to compare it as a service to what I would get if I had HBO Max as a service, I would
Shouldn't you use
prefer. Huh?
That's like the actual competitor,
Hulu,
right?
yeah, Hulu. Hulu actually is the competitor. I will use Hulu. I would still prefer it over Hulu. I had Hulu for like a month because I wanted to watch a couple shows that were on there. I hate Hulu's UI.
That's a fair reason too.
I also hate Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll actually fixed this, and if Crunchyroll has fixed this issue, I don't know how Hulu is still doing this. But Hulu will do a thing where you can't find a series unless you specify which language it is.
What?
Like I would like look up an anime, right? And it's like I want to look up the Tokyo Avengers, and it's like I want to kind of see the dub and the sub, compare both of them. And it's like, okay, you can watch the dub series and put that onto your list, or you can get the sub series and add that onto your list. They're two different shows, technically, in the listings for Hulu, as opposed to just making it one listing and give you multiple audio tracks, which Crunchyroll had that issue, but like they fixed it, and they no longer have that problem. And Crunchyroll is way, way, way below Hulu in terms of like people using it. Hulu is one of the most used platforms there is out there, but like having that issue at that scale is just like, what the. How can you not fix that?
Did they fix it before or after the merger?
After.
Okay. That might have had something to do with it.
I think it did. But like they
not that takes away from your point, but
no. Yeah, Funimation. They fixed it like a couple months ago, but Funimation didn't have that issue. Thankfully. Crunchyroll for some reason always did, but Crunchyroll also mainly focused on subs. But
yeah, the Funimation had its own
dubbing.
The website had its own, yeah, but it also had its own like browsing issues.
Oh yeah, no, because like if you search for something in Funimation's website, it would also take you to the store.
Yeah,
which is like, no, I don't want to look up buying this online. I want to look up your fucking streaming service, you stupid website. Hey, K-Bar, Carbohydrate, thank you for the resubscription. Thank you for subscribing for 7 months.
Sorry, I don't like being a gremlin.
I'm gonna...
A grumbalaya.
A grumbalaya. Grumbly. Here, let me do a thing.
Oh, right, the wheel, right.
Where I spin the wheel. Hydrate. Oh, well, there you go.
I do have one weird complaint. So Buggy's like thing is like he like slices in the pieces, right? Like because it's fruit.
Yeah.
Chop. Yeah. So there's a part where he gets punched in the chest by like Luffy, and then a piece like slices out, and that's fine. And then later he gets punched from like in the chest as well, or like in the torso, but it doesn't slice. He just gets knocked out over, and then they punch him on the head and knock him out. How come that? Why didn't that punch make him chop? Why did that hurt him?
So there is something. There is actually
a very tiny complaint, but
so there is like with the early devil fruits. There are sometimes those kind of like logical issues. Luffy's has one too, where they will define how devil fruit types work later, and the Buggy and Luffy's devil fruits and another one of the early ones. I think Alvida's, because Alvida gets a devil fruit later.
Yes.
I think
yeah,
their devil
I'm-
fruits don't really
yeah.
fall into the categories as
Smooth.
neatly. So those are a little weird.
Okay.
Because like the way they beat him in the anime is that they tie him up and punch his body parts basically. So,
What?
you see, the anime version is like it's
I
similar to the,
I
similar
didn't
to
I didn't rewatch all of the stuff.
yeah. So
After
the anime
after-
version is similar to the live action, but instead of putting his body parts in like chests,
Yeah.
trunks,
Trunks.
they
Wrong anime guy. Sorry.
they tie
Terrible.
up his body parts and like punch him, and then like Luffy shoots his head. He does the same thing, hits his head flies away, and he flies off to another island, and his crew is left with his remaining body parts until he gets separated from his body. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's a paramecia devil fruit, and those can get those are a little weird. I don't know. So
Okay.
your confusion at that being a bit weird, that's normal. Their devil fruits work a bit differently.
As long as there's like some, it was a small thing,
Yeah.
really. But if there's like some sort of explanation, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very small.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. That's good. Don't apologize for that.
I'm gonna die. But yeah, no, I did. I wonder how they're gonna do Alvida's thing in like season 2 of live action.
I think they won't change her.
You don't think they're gonna do the weird thing that anime does because it was written a long time ago, by making her like.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think the optics of that are very
body.
good on a number of levels.
Yeah, no, I think that would do terrible.
Yeah.
I would hate that. I think I would stop watching.
I would hate that too. Because like, you know, I don't know. Oda is not a flawless person.
Nobody is.
Nobody
I mean,
is. Nobody is.
I mean, shit. I don't know. I feel like it was written a long time ago. If he does the same thing now, it might. People's opinions on the dude might change.
I now remember the thing I was going to mention earlier. The
sorry.
point I forgot.
I keep throwing you off.
No, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I forgot this, but like that actually perfectly brings it back to what I was thinking about earlier, because we were talking about how people, you were talking about how people were getting mad with that one musician.
Lena Rain.
Yeah, Lena Rain. Lena Rain.
Lena Rain.
Lena Rain. Okay.
That's how I always said it.
People were getting mad at them, right? Her.
Yeah, they're getting mad at her.
Her. Yeah. And so what happened? What the current controversy going on in One Piece that happens with part of the community is that part of the community is insisting that a character who goes by he/him pronouns but presents as feminine isn't a trans character, and like it's a whole controversy. But like One Piece has a number of trans characters that pop up throughout the series, and it's never been an issue that comes up with any of those characters. The character currently that the character who's the issue is God damn it, why am I forgetting his name? Kaido's son.
Anyway, one thing I want to say is trans
Yamato.
characters are extremely Yamato. Okay. Trans characters in anime are a very big thing, but they're not, which isn't to say that they're represented well or given the proper like pronouns or treatment. In fact, a lot of the time they're abused in anime or like even in video games. There's a whole thing on. I could show you if you wanted, like trans characters in fighting games specifically.
Oh yeah, actually, I watched a video on that recently.
Yeah. There's just a whole discourse on a lot of this stuff in anime and video games from Japan because being trans is more normal than being.
Yeah, like the
Eastern
countries have a bigger problem with being gay than they do with being trans.
Yeah, but also trans means something different there.
Yeah.
a little bit necessarily not like different, but
it's a different take on it. Oh, I mean, I've gotten the same kind of talk from like India has a similar thing. So Neha tells me about that kind of stuff that goes on there. It's really it's an interesting different perspective that they have. Still very, I mean, not accepted really, unfortunately, but like it's more accepted than queerness, than sorry, other forms of queerness like being gay. But like there's like three other, I think there's like 4 major trans characters in One Piece, and like all of them portrayed pretty positively, almost universally. One of them is like, I'm not gonna get into big spoilers, but like two of them, well, 3 of them are just outright heroes the entire time. One of them is more tricky, but they're a really fun character. You're gonna see them fairly shortly. They come in the Alabasta saga. Which is
Are you talking about
Bon Clay.
Let me Google the name because I didn't see it very often. It might be what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Bon Clay. And like of Bon Clay's a really interesting character because like they're very openly queer, clearly, and they're officially non-binary, because like their power is shape-shifting. So like
all male cross-dresser. Okay.
Yeah, they don't really have any kind of. They're really, the gender fluid, non-binary. It's like it doesn't really matter for them, and their whole coding is really queer. And like of the characters that he's introduced with, that they're introduced with, people. He's sorry, they use he, she, they. But he's one that is like most like friendly with the crew. Has like different points of time where they are an enemy, but also like friendly, and like you'll see they're an interesting character. I love them a lot. And then there's also another character who's based off of this is Bon Clay. There's another character who comes in later who is based off of the design for Dr. Frankenfurter from
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, Rocky Horror, yeah. And like if you look him up, it's Ivankov.
Oh, yeah. No, we've talked about them before. Yes.
Yeah, Ivankov. Ivankov's great. Like her whole thing is that she's like one of the leaders of the Revolutionary Army. So like,
yeah. I just cool anyway. But to get back to the point you were making about Yamato.
Yeah. So like the whole thing is like Ivankov and Bon Clay are like comparatively were introduced years and years ago, right? Bon Clay was introduced like near the beginning of One Piece, and one of the first major sagas in Alabasta. Ivankov is introduced before the time skip, pretty significantly a little bit before the time skip. So they've all been in the series for like 10, 15, like 20, almost 20, 15 years for both of them. And then you have Yamato. So for all those characters, no major issue. No one cared. And then for Yamato, it's this whole big thing where people are making like a huge thing of like, no, just because he uses he/him pronouns doesn't mean they're trans. And like, yes, it does.
My question, well, it depends on what they identify with, but we can't really know that because it's a character in an anime.
Well, so,
we can't ask them for their opinions. Yeah. But
like the writing for the character is that everyone calls Yamato he/him pronouns. Yamato is called Kaido, the villain of the arc, Kaido's son. Kaido refers to him with he/him pronouns and calls him my son. Everyone refers to him with every gendered word that's used towards him is he, him, and son and boy. Like, you know.
My question, I just want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I have an I have like an I don't know.
Yeah.
Is this a case where he was born? Did they choose these pronouns, or were they born and raised as a male, as an heir?
Oh, they chose him. He chose them. So he was
that would, because I've seen that in anime a lot. That's a very common trope.
That is a very common trope. That's true. And this is not
in
the
real
case.
life.
This is not.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the thing in Japan, because like they didn't want to have like two sons. Anyway, weird thing. Weird.
Or two daughters. Not too many of either.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, yeah, that's a whole thing. But that isn't the case here, because they're raised and identify as a girl until they see this one character who's a boy, a man, a male character who does something heroic, and they want to be like that character. So they start identifying as that character. They're like, I want to be that person. I want to be this person. And they are a man. I also want to be a man. And so they identify as a man from that point on, and everyone else refers to them as such.
Oh,
they
fair,
choose to be to refer themselves as a boy.
Okay, I don't. Yeah, I don't understand.
Pretty unambiguous, to my opinion. Like, the only thing I think trips people up is that they are femme presenting, and so they're like, well, they have big boobs, so it's gotta be.
That's not even. Yeah. That's not fair. Everyone's got breasts. I don't know.
Yeah.
My dad has breasts.
You don't have. It's like the whole thing. You don't have to. You don't have to try to pass to be trans, but like they don't fucking care about that.
No,
I've got a few comments in my comment section. It's like, I like this adaptation of One Piece because it's not woke, and I'm like, what series are you looking at?
Yeah, no. I mean, I know plenty of people who, and it's a dangerous thing to not do. Sure. I mean, even look, this is a great example, but you don't keep. There you go, perfect example. Zoro's got breasts out front and center. Like those are actual.
Corey can attest to it.
You could, anybody, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Everyone has breasts. We call them breasts. We made up different words. Like the medical word is still the same. But anyway.
Yeah.
It's such a stupid thing. Just because they're Because if you ignore that, I'm looking at a picture of him. If you were to suddenly ignore those, that's just a pretty gender neutral like outfit, at least the one I'm looking at. I don't know. They got long hair and they're wearing like, I forget the word. I don't know. They look like a samurai.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just look like somebody who's like they look like horns and like a kimono on. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's a character that like.
Yeah, that's the same picture I'm looking at.
Yeah,
the first one.
I mean, you have like this is the outfit they wore when they first were introduced, but like they have like angles where it's from the side and you can see the.
Oh, yeah, that's stupid.
So like, again,
I
like people just look at this and like, well, there's boobs, so it's clearly they identify as a guy. Like it's not.
No, but that's the thing. I don't have what people want to see is like large female breasts, you know, and I don't. Or some of my friends who identify, like a lot of trans men I know, they can't get top surgery, so they have that issue. Or non-binary folk I know,
right? They
would like to get top surgery, but they can't, so they have the same issue. It's just societal norms. It's people being fucking stupid, and it's just the tits. Tits are. It's always tits, isn't it? It's always the fucking issue.
It's just like it's this weird idea where it's like a clear example of people just being uncomfortable with their sexuality because they can't admit that they could be attracted to someone who identifies with he/him pronouns.
Yeah, you know what?
Which is absurd. Which is just.
It is absurd, and I'm unless I'm wrong. I don't know how in depth this lore gets. We don't know, if they don't believe in gender as a construct, if they think it equates to genitalia, whoever these people are, you don't know what's under there. unless Oda has said X or Y.
No.
Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe they got a big, like, 12-inch dong. I don't know.
There's like there's so many
If
different
that's
things.
what you think gender is, you
Yeah.
fucking degenerate fucking... Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. It's just this absurd. It's just this absurd thing of just like,
I need to vent about something while
Go
we're on this
for it.
topic.
go for it.
Because I don't know if I'm going to stream after this or not. If I do, I might do something. Anyway, I saw a introduction thing in someone's Discord server today. And somebody put their sexuality as transgender, and I'm like, you living in some world where you have not been treated or taught right.
That's
It's not a sexuality, homie.
No.
If that is your sexuality, please go away. Anyway,
You-
onwards
you have
with the
to-
anime. I've met people like that.
transgender is a term of what that is. You need to go.
It's an identity. It's not. Yeah, I don't know, man. But anyway,
It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Have you seen the guy who got the British dude who got really mad over pronouns in Starfield?
oh, about there being an option, which isn't. I'm gonna be real. People are acting like I don't know this dude. I'm gonna say this dude's thing is unfounded because me on the other end of the spectrum, I'm like that's not enough. But go
No,
ahead.
it's not. It's just like you get to choose if people refer to you. The only thing it's literally like the beginning of Pokemon, except there's one more option. Are you a
Yeah.
boy, girl, or non-binary? That's it.
Yeah, and that's all it's gonna be for a while.
Yeah.
And for Starfield, somebody made a point to me. I'm not gonna say who. The reason that there's probably only 3 instead of you can type in what you want is it's a fully voiced game, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll concede to you slightly. Yes, they gotta pay for voice acting.
Yeah. And
But anyway, what's this person angry about?
no, but they're just mad. Have you seen? Oh, I got it. I can. Hold on.
I know what happened in the. Like, I've been watching full playthrough.
Okay, but I see the video though is what's this guy's video is just he has a complete and utter meltdown over it, and he has a head that looks like an egg, so it's even funnier.
Don't make fun of the bald man.
Listen, I'm gonna make
Does
fun.
it get all red?
Yes.
Why is Chris Chan? Oh God, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't want to know. I don't want to think about. I had so much shit in my life. Anyway, sorry. Show me the bald man.
Yes. Okay. Good. I saw him post.
I just want to say something to you, Bethesda. Just want to say a little.
I can't hear him. You have to turn it way up.
There is nothing I
Here, let's also put it in so you can all see.
He got boiling kettle angry
love
for 2.5
more.
minutes.
Taking
I've
my
done
headphones
that
off,
about
fuck
some
that.
things.
Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God,
Yeah,
just think
RPG,
of this
right.
world,
Yeah.
just think of all the
Yeah,
planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all
Have
the
you played
fights,
Starbound?
all the...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I just want to school this guy. I don't know. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, but like this guy has. Just look at this face. It says everything.
The relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love
almost
nothing
got-
more than to be dragged
yeah.
out at every
Oh.
fucking conceivable opportunity so you
Oh.
can fucking current day us.
What? The current dang us you might by giving us a they them option.
It's in the future. It's in like this is set in Earth timeline. Like this game is set in our timeline, but in the future. This isn't a fake sci-fi world. This is Earth, but future.
In the far distant future. It's not set in like the 1600s.
It's like fantasy future history. What are you talking about?
It keeps going.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I'll give you a point. If this was a game about pirates and they added all that, I'd be like, okay, sure, you know, and a historical game about pirates. Why would maybe
If you were
you'd still
were
be able to
joining
do gay marriage?
if you were
apparently.
joining a Victorian army, like the British Victorian army, and they asked
Yeah.
you to use they them pronouns, then I would feel like this is a bit odd. This doesn't feel like something they would ask me for.
Especially if it was supposed to be some historical thing. Even
Yeah.
I, as a queer person, yeah, I get it. It's not accurate.
That
But
would
what is
feel
this argument?
weird, and like you would need to do more for that to actually feel
Is
like
his-
integrated.
is his-
but-
So his complaint's not even that he has a problem with this stuff. He just hates that it pulls him out of the way. Can you play the rest of this?
No, yeah, definitely.
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit!
He sounds
Because
scared.
that's all we
Californian?
fucking know! Because we're boring!
Look at how angry he is.
We don't know because we're boring. What?
I love.
Fucking current day Californian shit!
Yeah.
Pronouns!
hang on. No,
Our
let me
world,
hear
yeah,
it again.
well, guess what? Fucking pronouns!
Yeah. I need to hear this. Hang on.
You're
Insane.
Fucking gender ambiguity!
Yeah.
Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so
Oh, okay.
fucking boring!
He's so
I mean, you're not bored,
scared.
man. You're good at yelling. Yeah, he sounds afraid. The first thing he brought up,
We can't see past our
gender
own fucking
ambiguity. He
reflection!
didn't bring up anything else. He's afraid that
That's
he
the
can't tell
level of
what
our-
someone is when he looks at them.
He's so
He can't tell who to hit on. That's why he's scared.
He's terrified that he might actually flirt with a man.
But yeah,
Well-
he's like, yeah, I get what you mean. In his brain, yes.
Yeah.
Our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company!
I like the pause he took
Fuck
right
your
after all that. Like,
immersion!
He's
Does
taking
he
like a
have a cut on
dramatic
his-
pause.
does he have a cut on his head, or is that like a blood vessel about to explode?
I don't know. I feel like it's a cut. I feel like it's a cut, but like it also does really look like it's about to burst.
It kind of. Anyway, go ahead.
Fuck you having a good time! Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost! No! Current fucking day!
Can you? Okay, I bet if like one of the options was like, I bet if you put Zem,
Yeah.
he would think it was some alien shit and be happy about it because he doesn't understand neo-pronouns.
Oh my god, if they added neo-pronouns,
He would be like, "Oh,
Um,
aliens! Whoa!"
I
be
could
happy
be a
then.
xenomorph.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh god.
Fuck off! You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! You are a one-hived mind twat waffle! That's
What?
all you fucking are!
What is this?
And you wonder why
You're a hive-minded twat waffle.
Is this guy a streamer? What's happening?
Yes, yeah. It's called something
anymore, he's not.
babyface.
people are getting so
I'm not even gonna
fucking
look him
sick.
up.
Don't
doesn't
bother.
deserve
I don't
that.
give a shit. This is all you need to know.
And
Yeah, no, he doesn't
tired!
deserve to be looked up.
You take everything we love!
I've sold
all
items
our
in the store.
emotions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything! Every single solitary fucking thing!
Is this
This
something
is-
he was known for disliking before now, or did? I don't-
He's British, so maybe. But
Whoa, hang on, you're going the opposite way.
no, but I mean, you know, he's a gamer. I think he was like I think he
yeah.
was a person who was involved in like Gamergate shit, so you know, probably.
Oh, okay. So his
yeah.
audience was probably like, yeah, in chat.
Funny he's saying this while he has Transformers in the background. Anyway, but this is all again over the option to choose if you want to say they them. That is it.
That pulled him out immediately. It was too political.
It's too
Guys,
political.
did you know? Did you know who you are is politics?
Oh my gosh,
Like,
that actually reminds me.
Your like physical self is politics.
I get
your
this.
emotional
I've gotten
being.
this comment a couple times. Is sometimes when I'm talking, because like my off-script videos, like I sometimes say they them when I'll refer to a character as they or as like this
No, you do that a
character.
lot, yeah.
I do
I do
that a
that.
lot. It's just my normal way of speaking. Part of it's conditioned from work, and like part of it's just like I think it's just a normal way to talk. You know?
No, I do that.
Yeah,
I
people don't
think
say
it's safer.
people don't say gender every single time. You know, and I'll get like people's commenting like, you should just say he or she," and I'm like, why do you care? Like, it doesn't matter. Like they'll start making it like I'm trying to like I'm being progressive or something. I'm like, it's not even that. It's just how I talk. Like it's not even like a thought.
Yeah, no, I don't think about it either. But I mean, it is kind of, it has become a progressive thing. It has been politicized,
It's really weird.
which is weird because I started doing that before I got into all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Back when I didn't, when I had an inkling of being queer.
It's just
instead
a
of
normal. It's just a normal thing to say when you talk. That's the thing that's like that's weird about
It just seems
the
polite.
anger over they them pronouns is that it's just using they and them for a singular person is normal. It has always been normal.
Yeah, no, I even as a kid, when I believed in the gender binary as a small child,
Mhm.
I still would use they them because it felt more polite than calling everyone sir if I didn't know.
Yeah, it's just a normal way of talking.
Is his room on a slant?
It feels like it, but I think his
Is he
bookcase
so angry his house is sinking?
his bookcase definitely feels like it's about to fall over. Have you seen the other video with him in Starfield? I haven't. What are you referring to, sorry? Tell me
Please
more.
please link it, sorry.
Okay.
I want to laugh at this.
Here's my favorite part, though.
Okay. Is that him on the shelf?
Yes.
He wasn't even a character creation?
No, he just goes right back to playing it.
Of course he does, yeah. It's not that big of a deal. Because you know what? It's not a big deal. He doesn't want to admit that, though.
No, because he doesn't. That would be too difficult. He'd have to admit that there's other problems in the world.
That's so funny. Okay, I'm gonna go play my game. I bet there's already a mod. Let me look.
There's definitely a mod.
I'm gonna look. Starfield mod remove. I don't care what Google thinks. Google's probably so confused. I Google so much weird shit.
All right.
Because as a they're like, oh, you're queer. They probably have that marked down, and then I Google so much like like queer homophobic shit sometimes, just to look because I'm curious what people do.
No, I do the same thing. I look up a lot of right wing stuff because I'm like I gotta research this to understand what these people are talking about.
Nexus Mods is removing any Starfield mods that remove pronouns. There was so many Nexus mods started removing them. What the fuck?
That's great.
Really? Go here if you want a mod to remove pronouns. Steam community. Thanks, Steam community. Whew. Oh.
Fucking idiots.
I feel safe now. Oh man, that they them. As far as I'm aware, if you don't pick they them, I don't think any characters, at least that I've seen in while watching Cole, no characters I've seen have identified as they them. They've all been he, she. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't seen enough of the game.
I think there is one trans character in the game, from what I'm aware of.
Okay, just don't talk to that character. Like, I don't know, man. It's so funny. It's so
it's
funny.
Such a weird thing. It's space.
That won't affect. Yeah, you just go. Oh, I don't care about. Even if you're a fucking bigot, just don't click on it.
Yeah.
And then move on. Sorry.
Or just like grow up. It's like it all reminds me. This whole controversy reminds me of the controversy that happened when BioShock Infinite came out. Do you remember this? Where BioShock Infinite, you get baptized at the beginning of the game, and this one person refused to be baptized and made a whole thing about it. That like the game was trying to indoctrinate him into like being Christian because you have to get baptized to start the game.
That's funny.
But like the character you are doesn't view baptism as anything and then murders a whole bunch of people.
No, yeah, you're not you. Yeah, you're not you. What for one, you are Booker DeWitt. You are not I'm not Ashland when I played that game.
Yeah.
2, it's a game.
2, it's a game. You're not actually murdering people or flying through the sky, flying through this 1920s racist town in Skyhooks.
When I play like Civilization, or if I were to play like Hearts of Iron, and I were to play Germany, that doesn't mean I support like World War II Germany, like erasing people from existence. That just means I'm playing a video game.
when you play Call of Duty and you're the bad team, that means you're
Yeah, when you
really
get
a
put on the
bad
wrong team.
person.
Yeah, that's a better example than what I gave. Thank you. Because I almost mentioned the Holocaust.
It's so absurd. I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops, and I got put on the enemy team, and now I have a book for Comrade Stalin. Mom,
It happened.
it
Help.
happened. I have very strong opinions on Trotsky.
Let's watch this. Let's watch this man freak out.
Yeah, let's watch
You
this.
watch this man freak out.
So this guy has just discovered that this character, this NPC, is apparently trans. So
Oh, okay.
let's see what happens. That's the caption here. So let's find out.
Why would the NPC tell you that?
I have no idea. I don't know why it's a thing, but
Fuck off.
he looks like his heart's broken.
Oh, yeah,
he
he
found
looks
out
like
his
he's gonna
dog
cry.
died.
I was gonna say even farther than that. He looks like his
It's
daughter
infected
died.
everywhere.
Nerves kicking in.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
The character's like nerves kicking in. Shut up.
I will say I don't know why they needed to mention that. I hope it was natural in the conversation, but why is he so? He's like his wife died or something, or his mom. He got a call during stream. His mom died. No, he just heard some character say they were trans.
Oh my gosh. Current day politics. Games can't be political. I just want to. I don't want politics in my games. I just want to play Call of Duty and shoot USSR soldiers without thinking of the political implications of it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, like, look on the. I kind of want to. This character's gender is the opposite of the person they were cloned of. They're not even. They're cloned. Did they identify as the gender of the person they were cloned from, or were they just a clone whose gender was flipped? Because that's not even. What is he upset about?
He's an idiot.
Anyway,
Well, I mean,
I don't.
he's
I
a
don't,
bigot.
I'll get into.
So
I kind of want to. I'm gonna look. Hang on. Is this character actually trans? I want to look into
you
this.
want to look into it? Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That's just one of the things I saw recently. I thought you'd get a kick out of it because like it's this whole thing that like people. I think it's really interesting. This point I heard, and I think I've talked about I talked to you about this a little bit before, but there's this one right-wing commentator who said a little bit ago that they want to take the trans like narrative back to 2015. You know, and a lot of trans people agree with that. Have agreed with that because like back then a lot of things existed for trans people and no one fucking cared. Like pre-bathroom bill stuff and like what was it, North Carolina? I think. I'm not sure where it was. But pre that bathroom bill stuff, no one fucking talking about trans issues publicly that much, like at all.
I mean, the big thing I remember that got it up for me that started making people start to be afraid of people like me for some reason was the Target thing. Do you remember that?
No, which one?
The Target restroom stuff.
Like which bathroom you can use? Is it like a bathroom policy thing?
Yeah, this was like one of the earliest restroom bans, and it wasn't like a state thing. It was Target specifically. Target trans.
What is that?
Gender rest. I don't. Here we go. Which again, no one would ever know unless. I mean, I think they swapped back on it since then.
Yeah, I think maybe that's why Target's so out and about with its Pride merch now.
No, they took that down. Remember? Did you know about that?
Yeah, they did, but
yeah,
they did, but I think it was because of bomb threats, which I think is
that's
like,
not. No, that's.
yeah.
I don't think that's valid. No, I don't think that's valid at all.
That's fair.
I don't think it's valid to take it down across the country. In fact, I think you should hire more security to protect the people you say you care about.
That's fair.
Anyway.
That's fair.
I feel weirdly strong about this.
No, I mean, it's not weird.
Wait. If somebody told them to stop selling milk or they were going to blow up Target, do you think they would have stopped selling milk?
That's fair. That's a very fair point. It's just this ridiculous thing of like people have gotten so scaremongered into it. It really does feel like 90s, like this is before even I was around, you know. But like the kind of like 80s and 90s scare talk you would have about gay people, right? Where they're there to prey on your children, and like that stuff has really like come back in the past couple years, and it's bizarre. Because like it's such a talking point with right-wing people, but like those people keep losing elections and they keep fucking trying to do this. It's I don't know.
And then meanwhile, most of the people that do stuff to kids do it regardless of any of this.
Or
They
are
don't
the
even care
people
about
saying
any of
that
this.
trans people do it to kids?
Yeah,
Or like like
maybe there's maybe like one in every like I don't know the actual statistic.
No.
I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Maybe like one in every like 20 people that assaults a child sexually. Maybe they're a trans person. Maybe they identify. It's 1 out of 20.
It's an absurdly
everyone.
small number. Like it's
Yeah,
like
it's
the majority of people who do it are white cisgendered men. Like
yeah, because that's just the majority of people.
it's the majority of
this
people who
sentence.
that's the majority of people who do sex related crimes because they're the majority of people who can get away with that stuff, or like feel like they can get away with that stuff and like feel like
Right.
they have like the position I think in society to take advantage of people that way.
Yep.
Because they're fucking gross. Anyway, but like you know, you will see there's like a fun little meme that some people do is when you see an influencer who's like portraying this as like like a male influencer who's like portraying themselves as like a defender of children against the woke media, and you look it up and they're like they've been arrested for child endangerment, and it's like okay,
Yeah.
cool, real cool,
Yeah.
real cool stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sad.
It's really gross.
Wait, what was this North Carolina? I didn't even realize about the fucking North Carolina thing when I lived there. I'll be honest. Was that overturned before 2019?
Probably. I don't think it actually passed.
Because that happened in 2016, but I don't know anything else about it. I forgot because I moved there afterwards. I don't know. Huh.
Yeah, it did. No, it did pass. It did pass. Yeah, bathroom bill.
Weird.
North Carolina was ground zero in the nationwide fight over transgender rights. The passage of the 2016 bathroom bill.
And that's one of those. Anyway, sorry. I
Don't apologize.
talking with Yume about anime and such. Yeah.
No, I
always
pushed
do.
the conversation to this.
I know. I just I will say I didn't want I'm enjoying the conversation. I didn't want it to be like a queer topics thing because in a
I
way
just feel like it's natural.
it's natural, and I just want to make a point, like not at you, just out loud.
Yeah.
I feel like people will, if we were like larger creators, somebody would be like, "Oh, see, it's the left, man." They'd like put a message in chat right now. They're skewing your point of view. Look, queer creators make everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's this
weird thing that I have seen. I think I mentioned this in the beginning of the conversation, but like my video's doing crazy numbers right now. Cool thing.
Sure.
Great.
That's cool.
I've already seen like people say weird things on it, like this show wasn't woke and that's why I liked it, or like writers shouldn't get paid because of the wokeness in Hollywood, and like someone criticizing my usage of non-gendered pronouns eventually, like when I'm describing some
Sure.
characters, and it's like, why what is going on here? And like you just get these weird, it's this weird hyper like issue for some people.
Hey, this to come
And it
out
just
because of
feels
movies.
absurd. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's this
I don't.
hand wringing over literally effect to you is literally zero.
But no, that's not true. They're afraid.
Yeah.
It does affect them. They're afraid. Yeah, but that's not a good. It's not a good reaction to being afraid.
I mean, they
No,
are afraid, yes, but like their fear is unfounded.
Yeah, you're right. It's unfounded. I yes, but
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. But
I've had people write like full paragraphs in my like they wrote like an essay in my fucking comments section when I was talking about Arcane, and I use they them pronouns when describing a character, because again, just how I talk, it's normal. It's just a thing that happens. I don't even hear it. Like I didn't recognize that I did that when I was doing the voiceover. I didn't recognize I was doing that when I did the run through on the audio, or when I when I actually edited the video out. I didn't even hear it, didn't notice it, because I don't care.
yeah, it's not something you started doing as like a political statement.
No, it
Because
wasn't in
that's
my
not what
mind.
it should be.
This is just a normal way to talk. And these people write paragraphs in my comment section about how they're upset about it, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, take a look at yourself for 5 seconds, you pathetic little weasel.
They're just looking for any reason. They're looking for any corner where they can maybe change someone's mind. That's all it boils down to. They're just trying to change someone's mind.
They just want to scream at the wall until the wall bends to them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They just, you know what I mean? They're just looking for that little bit of give. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I got a new ally now. And I guess because of historical associations with people who are into anime.
Yeah. It's
I
like
guess there's a thing with that.
Yeah, I mean there is. Even though there are a lot of creators, a lot of the founders of anime as we know it, and anime as a genre, were like, I think like the creator of Astro Boy was a communist. I know Miyazaki and Taniguchi, the creators of Studio Ghibli, they met at a trade unionist rally. Oda has pictures of Che Guevara in his office. It's like there's a lot of, and then there's also people like mangakas who are fucking super right wing. But like, there's a lot of mangakas like out there, some of the biggest names in the industry, who are either super far left, socialist, or communists. But then you still have people who have zero media literacy and refuse to read anything into the stories that they engage with. This is actually really frustrating for me. When I was more like, when I was raised libertarian, and then slowly slid over to be like a lib, and then like in like 2016, 2017, started sliding further and further into where I am now. I was like, I'm over here now. This doesn't make any sense. All this stuff is bullshit. But like one of the things that was like one of my further right ideas that I held on to for a decent amount of time before I started making videos, but like I held on to like then, was that like, interpreting all these different things into medium, into like media. And like I remember thinking about it one day and being like, stories have meaning. I don't know why we're getting so mad about a story having a meaning, and people thinking up interpretations in different kinds of ways you can read meaning out of a work. Like One Piece is a great example. There are a lot of stories in One Piece that have pretty like leftist messaging,
Sure.
And it's weird that like a whole story about accepting and caring about people who are nothing like you could have people who are such fans. There could be fans of it that just don't care about that issue at all, because one, they're not media literate, and two, they just care about the aesthetics and what's cool, right?
Action.
Action. There's cool things in it. Zoro goes
That's-
swish swish.
That's what it boils down to for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's like they don't want to think of the meaning of the story, and when
No.
you bring that up, people say, "Well, it's not that deep, bro." And I'm like, "Yes, it is. What are you talking about?"
My first like big realization of that, the same thing you're saying, unless you had more. Sorry, I don't.
No, go.
didn't cut
That
off.
was
Okay.
it. That was...
Okay. My first big realization, like, oh yeah, God, people just don't want to see shit, was watching the original Eva and getting into all that discourse.
Yeah.
All of the messaging intended behind that show that completely got thrown by the wayside, and even to this day, it's just people talking about the best girl.
It's
And all of
absurd.
the merchandising to this day is still around that.
Or like people who
I don't
like
know.
watch Shin Godzilla and don't realize that it's about the failures of the Japanese government. You know.
Yeah, just there's so many. I don't know. It's just it's bizarre to me. I don't know how you could see either of those things as anything but political. I mean, they both involve the military.
Yeah,
I mean, I even if you're like don't understand what's going on, maybe you should see the fact that there's military like groups involved and be like, why would they use this as part of their story instead of the Power Rangers? But,
for
I don't
like
know.
one
You know what I
thing.
mean?
No, I do. Like it's like for one thing, like it's like goes back to the Call of Duty point, right? It's like people look at things with war and combat and think, well, there isn't any politics in this. It's just action. I'm like, what do you think politics are? What do you think there are politics in why wars are started, or why or why combat exists? You know, or why these things are portrayed in the way that they are. All media has a form of political bent that is just like inherent. It all has on different shades, right? The politics is in everything that we do because it is just life. It is about life and how we dictate the society that we're structured in, right? And
it's a word applied to how people think. It's
yeah. But like, you know, every medium, every work that you engage with has to do in some way with how we structure our society, and what that work says is good, bad, or portrays as comforting or anything like that does present a political message in some kind of way, you know. And
even if unintentionally.
Yeah, and like, you know, the creator may not be aware of it, you know.
Often unintentionally.
Yeah, but that is something that is always present, you know. And there's just this cowardice. People are fucking babies, and they don't want any kind of. They don't want to think critically. It's like people who play Metal Gear Solid and think it's not political.
Colonel,
I'm engaging in the sabotage of this South American the South American government. Good thing there's no political messaging behind this or any kind of structural commentary that's being made.
Colonel, I'm taking over the sandbox. The cat is pissing in my sand. What do I do? Like, is that what they want? I don't know. Well, like, what do they? Man, even Rugrats is political. Man, that shit's about fucking middle class. Never mind. Never mind. It's just, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I do. Like, it's like it is just this absurd level of just people wanting to be in a box, you know, where they don't need to think about the world, you know, and they're just so terrified of the idea that they would have to engage with any kind of conversation about the thing that they like.
I'm going to say something that a lot of people have started to give me. Well, not started to. My whole life, people have. But it's happened on stream a few times.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something, and then I get it. It's scary. You know, I do get it. You don't want to think about all that shit. You wanna go home. You want, you work a shitty job, probably. I mean, this is what most of my life was. I didn't behave
I just want to
this way,
say
but
something to you, Beth.
work a, shitty job. You go home.
Right.
You don't want to think about all this other shit. You just want your world to be the same and things to work out for you until you die. And I get it. That would be easier, but that's just not how it works.
That's not
Sometimes
reality.
I mean, even if you believe in something that I don't, you still gotta fight for it. Like, even
Yeah.
if you're a fucking bigot, go fight for it. I don't know, man. Anyway.
I mean, like, it's this thing of like, and that's
Just
why
sit
you
there
see
and
this
boil
behavior.
over.
Yeah, that's why you see this
Being a-
behavior more with white people, especially white men, who never have to think about their existence being political, because for them, they believe and are conditioned by society to believe that they are the base, that we are, that I don't have to think about any of that kind of stuff because I am just, I am the
The
default.
storm that is approaching. Sorry.
I am the storm that is approaching. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like and being confronted with the idea that they need to understand that for other people, life is not like that, and for as an Americans especially, we're involved. Like the actions that we have as a country can be portrayed in games negatively, or can be portrayed in media, and like showing the effects of that and how that affects our real world. The idea that would be to like showing that kind of stuff to challenge you is just so triggering because they're babies. Because they're babies and they want the light box to go beep 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 beep.
And there are sometimes that is willingly, sometimes that's just how people were raised. And that's not an excuse, but
No.
it's just a fact of the matter.
I mean, also part of it is that like the American educational system does have a lot of ways in which it does not challenge people as much, especially if they don't want to be challenged, if they don't want to engage in critical thinking. Because like, you'll get people, if you go back to like people like not wanting to think critically about like the media they consume, you'll talk about like the deep meaning behind like you'll have works that are very symbolic, like The Matrix is a great example, right? Pretty easy, common example of like things that like there's a lot of symbolism, there's a lot of metaphors, there's a lot of different things that there's supposed to be like a bigger meaning, and you're supposed to get out of it outside of just the general plot. And then if you like try to like extrapolate on that, like to build out on that, people will be like, well, you're just like those kind of people. You're just like my English teacher who was like, the curtains are blue because he was sad. No, the curtains are blue because the curtains are blue. It's not because of anything. Nothing has a point. Thinking about things is for losers.
I mean, even when you pick, like, I don't know, dude, when you picked your curtains, I mean, you probably didn't pick your own curtains. Like, I don't know, when I pick, like, I like my bed sheets, I pick like certain colors because I like how they make me feel.
Yeah.
They put me in a certain mood. Maybe they picked those colors because they were sad when they bought them. So you know what? Anyway, sorry. You know what I mean?
I mean, like,
even in the real world,
I think there's always a reason behind like choices that are made, and like,
subconscious or not.
some people, like, one of the most frustrating things I get in my comment section is people who will like when I try to talk about something, people will be like, oh, this had to be like that because of the justification that's in the world. And I'm like, well, that world is entirely created by a creator who created it for that thing to exist.
Yeah.
Therefore, they could have changed it,
That's true.
Like,
and sometimes that
Attack
is
on Titan's a
not
great example of
to make
that.
a point.
Sorry?
I just said sometimes it is to make a point, even if it's something weird. But yeah, go ahead.
Attack on Titan's a great example of this, right? Because like, people will be like, I mean, we go back to like the original one, like people saw anti-Semitic caricatures in the Titans, right? And we were like, oh, it's because like they're just supposed to look like people and they're supposed to look weird, and exaggerated and absurd. And I'm like, and you're like, well, the creator created them that way, though. Like, that's not really a justification. But you know, but you get to all the other things that come in with like Attack on Titan, of like, one of the specific things I've gotten pushback on is my criticism of how later in Attack on Titan there's imagery used that calls back to ghettos and the Holocaust, right? And people, and people will be like, "Oh, they're using that imagery because it's powerful," or they're using that energy, the imagery, because this is how the society's set up. And I'm like, but that society is set up because the writer wrote it that way. This imagery is used because the writer chose to use it.
Yeah, they chose to evoke that image, so then you have to question why they evoked that image.
Yeah.
And then what would the reasoning be?
Yeah.
You know?
And like, what is I don't know the intentions of Ishiyama, the creator of Attack on Titan. I have tried to do a lot of research into that guy, and I have not been able to find the actual answer. To like what his actual political leanings are.
No, there's nothing really.
It's not anything clear, because like at certain points, his like admiration for some people, like the guy who is based off Pixis, right? It was like this general who was like a general over like a Japanese imperial general over like Korea back in the day. But sure. Like he says that he likes him because when he retired, he talked a lot about peace and stuff. And like you don't really know. There's a lot of different things in Attack on Titan where you could read it as being anti-fascist, but that the imagery itself makes the characters who are fascist just like outright just espouse a fascist ideology. They are the villains in the story, but they also at times look cool, and that's a problem because people who have those kind of leanings already do not care about what a story actually says. They just care about the aesthetics, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that 1,000%. I could speak on that later, but go ahead.
Yeah. And so, like, whenever you take a medium like that, right, and you try to say something, it's like the classic thing of even an anti-war movie glorifies war, glorifies violence, right? Even if the movie is explicitly anti-war, it is still depicting war in a way that can be interpreted as having some sort of valor, some sort of compelling nature to it. Here there is not, by taking an action to show and make a movie about war, you are in a way still glorifying violence and trivializing it by making it making it a form of entertainment, right?
Yeah,
because movies are entertainment. No matter what you do, that is what it is, you know. So it's like one of those things. Sorry, go.
I was gonna say, unless it's like some really hardcore like documentary, it's not really made for mass consumption.
Yeah,
there's but yeah, for the general, yeah,
absolutely. Documentaries are different, but when you make a narrative story that is about war, right? You are in some way glorifying the violence in war. You are in some way valorizing people who are involved in war.
I mean, people talk about speaking of war, but this isn't one I was going to talk about. But people bring up Saving Private Ryan a lot.
Yeah.
Just when you talk about films, that's a great example. I mean, sure, there's other stuff in it, but you're still glorifying what they went through.
Yeah. No, exactly. Because like it shows the horrors of the D-Day landing at the start of it, which is like what everyone will say. But like it does show that they are a band of they're a band of people who are really close, and like camaraderie that comes in, the selflessness that they all go through to save a person, you know.
How casually some of them kill people.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be more concerning than it is.
Yeah, but like that's the thing, you know. It's like No matter how you portray that, no matter what the creator's intention is, like when Spielberg shows American soldiers committing a war crime, like in a movie, right, in a World War II movie, the portrayal might be to say our soldiers committed war crimes also on people who didn't deserve it. Like there's a scene in Saving Private Ryan near the beginning where where a character guns down German soldiers who were trying to surrender and saying that they were forced to be there, right? And you get to know that as an audience member, but the soldier doesn't know that, but he does know that they're surrendering, but he still kills them.
He knows they're surrendering, and
and so
and he feels good about it afterwards.
Yeah, so like you as an audience member knows that soldier just committed a war crime, but like you as like does that message really do anything though to people, right? When you still have, because you can still have your conservative grandpa watch this movie and say World War II is a great war. Wars can serve a purpose, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how it's the same thing with Ishiyama, and it carries over and Attack on Titan that carries over with this message. It doesn't matter how you portray anti-fascism. It doesn't matter how you portray a fascist. It doesn't matter how you portray a war. By portraying them in any kind of way like that, you're in some way giving those kinds of people the usage of an aesthetic tool that they want. Which is the unfortunate way, because like, you know, if you criticize them in order for them to be like a threat in the story, you have to like show them in a way that they have power, and when you show them that when you show those kind of characters in a way that they have power that is used by those types fascists,
they take the imagery for themselves.
Exactly. They co-opt that imagery and want to make it for themselves. That's why there's people who identify themselves as Jaegerists, as like in real life. They're like, oh yeah, I'm just like the people that follow Eren Yeager, even though this narrative itself explicitly says that those people are evil, right? And like most of the heroes are trying to kill those people, right? People still identify with them. People still take that kind of message. People still think that Eren Yeager is cool and based, even though he's a pathetic weakling.
I thought that was the point of it. That's kind of why I stopped. I don't know. I feel like I got the point of that. This is just a me thing. I feel like I got the point of that story really early on.
Yeah.
Eren Yeager was not someone to be liked, and that was going to be the end of it. And I was like, okay, I think I get it. I'm going to stop watching.
That's actually something I had at the beginning too, right? That was like, Eren seems like a really like this is before I really like I knew much about like this kind of like political analysis on like anime stuff, but like I remember when I first watched the first season of Attack on Titan, I keyed in on the fact that Eren was very angry and had this like genocidal way he was talking about Titans that made me uncomfortable, right? I'm like, I'm not comfortable with the way he talks about that, and the way he's being so explicit in the way he wants to kill them all, right?
Yes.
And like his anger and his words are supposed to make you uncomfortable, right? But in the same breath, people don't care.
You could use that to good effect. Monster, which is a show that most people haven't got to watch until recently. Yeah, but there's elements of that kind of stuff in that as well. There's characters who you're not supposed to like, but it's used to a much better effect. There's plenty of characters that you're not supposed to like in things.
Yeah, I mean, Berserk's a great example.
Even I don't know. Berserk is I need to watch. I don't know. But they always end up. The problem is even if it's so obvious you are not supposed to want to be them based on how everyone around them treats them, people still aspire to be like them because most of these characters, and I don't know, you can't get rid of them either because it's just a way of. But most of these characters,
it's the I identify with Patrick Bateman kind of mentality.
Yeah, exactly. It's these characters just because no matter how many people hate them, they're going to love themselves.
It's just sad.
how do you portray a character like that?
You can't. It's
other
a damned if you do,
than
damned if you don't kind of thing. That's my
the only you want to know a good one I can think of?
what.
He just loves himself no matter what. Yoki from FMA, the fucking the dude with like the alfalfa hair, who owns the mining town.
Oh yes, yes, I know who you're talking about.
Nothing. He loves himself the entire time. Nothing good ever happens to him in that show.
What a piece
The
of
worst,
shit.
the best thing that happens is he doesn't die.
Mhm.
But there's a few examples like that. But
Also,
I just,
K-Bar, you are right. Yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
yeah, you're good.
But
You're good.
I don't know. It is a weird. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
It's just an odd kind of because like there's a lot of like media that has really good messaging that I love and that I think is really engaging and persuasive. Especially, I mean, shows are more persuasive to people who already have a leaning towards that ideology. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, like when I watch fucking Andor, right, which is a show that I think has a lot of anti-imperialist, anti-colonialist messaging that I love. It's still made by the Disney Corporation, and that's always going to undercut it. It's still
Yeah, I mean, it will.
yeah.
And the people who are writing it and making the show, they realize that, but I'm sure they do.
No,
They
yeah,
have
they
to
do.
realize
They
that.
do. Yeah.
You even, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Netflix good streaming service, sure, whatever, yada. But let's the people who own Netflix are shit. I'm sure we can agree on that, right? Just a
Oh yeah.
shit
Yeah, fuck
corporation,
'em.
right? Okay. And even so many shows, even Black Mirror, one of their biggest you know, hot ticket items,
Yeah.
pokes fun at just the fact that I can say how much I hate you, Netflix, in your thing. You don't care because you know that even by my show being on this platform, it doesn't matter. Like, which is sad, but
Yeah.
you're right. Just by being part of Disney, by being part of Netflix, you let them win in a small way.
Yeah, it's this
But you kind of have to, I guess.
yeah, it's like you don't really have you have to play the game in order to get your
Can I ban Naito for that?
sure.
You call me Barfield. Okay, thank you.
Goodbye, Naito. Hello,
Anyway.
Naito.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh god. No, but
Poor Naito.
Oh god. No, but it is really a thing that is I don't know. It's unfortunate that we have you have to play the game like that. You have to engage with these kind of structures in order to get your show made. It comes back to the common phrase. There's no ethical consumption under capitalism, but there's no ethical creation under capitalism either at this stage, because you are going to be engaging in an exploitative system no matter what you do, and it sucks, but that's the reality. If I was gonna die in style.
I mean, yeah, shit. I don't know. Look at me. I'm pouring my heart into whether it's stupid. I think people keep telling me not to think this way, but I'm gonna be real. I think it's stupid. I think I should probably be more realistic because as much as I talk about how I hated most of my life where I worked for corporate yada X corporation for 40 hours, 50 hours a week. The same point could still be made even right now, where maybe you could argue I'm more free.
Yeah.
I'm still working for Amazon.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like one of the creators I watch a lot is Hasanabe. He's one of the biggest creators on the platform. He widely expresses socialist ideas, but he makes his entire living off of money that he gets from ad revenue off of Twitch, and like subscriptions and like donations.
Maybe
and
like just a few donations, yeah.
yeah.
So like
But, like-
5 people who remember they can donate money. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, but like you make your money from your contract with Twitch, and you're engaging with that system, but like and like he acknowledges that a lot. But it's like, what else is he supposed to do? He can't create his own platform, That's
Not
that
reasonably.
can't work.
You could, but you're not going to spread that shit. No.
And like you would have to, like, the platform would be literally just for him, and he could do that maybe now because he has money. You couldn't do that at the beginning.
But even then, if he wants to keep it going, then he's going to have to become part of that same system that Twitch is already part of.
Yep, exactly.
And probably grow to be something he hates, and sit in a glass box up on a mountain and hate himself.
Yeah.
While his whatever he created. Anyway.
The only thing you can do is like just try to live to your principles as much as possible, no matter who you are in that process, right? So like the showrunner for Andor. Yeah.
I want to be optimistic. You can work towards change in the system, and it will take time. It requires a lot of people and a lot of time. But go ahead.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of different ways you can do it, and I think people being out there, if you're like a showrunner for an Amazon show, or for like Andor, you're working with Disney, but also you're making a show that is showing a very showing the evils of colonialism, the evils of capitalism, and the prison system, and carceral states that are all too real in our own society, and which I think is one of the best things in Andor. It's a really fucking good series, but even if you're making the bag for the mouse, right? You're still able to get your message out there, and maybe that influences people, and maybe that helps.
Yeah, maybe it does enough to actually change things. Probably not.
Maybe not, but maybe like any
small drop in the bucket.
What it's better than making some garbage show where you're glorifying war, or like not making your show that encourages and inspires people.
Yeah, no, I mean, but honestly, that some people don't think it's worth it. Some people will give in because they can make more money.
Yeah,
and I can't fault them.
Some people you can.
I kind of can and I kind of can't. I don't know, because I've been just the life I've led. I don't.
Yeah, it's hard when you don't have so much privilege, but there are privileged people out there who make that choice.
Oh yeah,
and those
when you
people,
have that privilege entirely,
fuck them. A big thing is also unions, and giving more power to those under corporate. Yeah, it's like a big thing is unions. That is actually the most encouraging thing in America right now, is like the growth of unions this past year, past 2 years, 3 years actually.
Weren't me and you? I think this might have. Sorry to just quick aside, because it might be interesting for this. Weren't me and you having like a conversation while I was playing Minecraft about like unions for this new age of like entertainers or like content creators?
Oh yeah. There have been attempts to make content creator unions, which I don't think went anywhere.
No,
but like trade unions, I think would be really beneficial. At least. I don't know how that would go, and like a lot of people who are just like are in this space are super individualistic, which makes sense because like we all kind of are, but like you have to understand that's best for yourself is also being combined with other people. But
yeah,
like, I don't know.
I mean, maybe not in the short term, but in the long term, it goes for any unions. Yeah. I think not just. I just use that because that's the easiest for me to. Well, I mean, I can relate to labor unions. I don't know.
I can, yeah.
But that was most of my life. But yeah, no, it's just something that retail workers. Weren't we talking about that? I don't know.
Yeah, there's like there's a strike going on right now. I think Burgerville workers are still on strike, And Burgerville is like it's this chain in Oregon and Southern Washington, fast food restaurants. Really good food, higher quality meat and like produce and stuff. And they have like a lot of like local, yeah, they have a lot of local farmed foods that they'll bring in, like sweet potato fries every now and then, like that are from like southern. They're from like Eastern Washington, but like they're all like local in the Pacific Northwest area.
That's something, I'll give you that. But
yeah,
go ahead.
There's a whole bunch of different things that they do. But anyway, so they have a union. Their workers are unionized. It's the only fast food union in the country that I'm aware of. And like like for like fast food workers, like because Starbucks wouldn't count in that. But like they're unionized, and I think they're on strike because like they're struggling with like the early struggles you have with the union of being recognized and getting their contract done and everything.
Yes.
But it's interesting seeing like union power get to like even those sections, to like make it to like, what for some people is a high school job, for some people it's not. There's people who work at Burgerville or like a person. Yeah, you're a parent who's maybe your partner works a full-time job and you're also taking a part-time job for a little extra money. Or
you're the manager.
Yeah, or you're a manager. You're the breadwinner for your family. It's one of your multiple jobs that you have because you're a single parent. There's a lot of ways that those are for adults as well. But like these kind of jobs, you see more and more unionization efforts in those kind of jobs here, and also the success of other unions in bargaining for power, and being able to organize, like the Starbucks unions being able to organize, the UPS union being able, the Teamsters with UPS being able to like get a good amount of wins out of the UPS bargaining. They should get more. Like I don't think that. I'm not sure if that contract was verified yet or like was voted on and like affirmed yet. I haven't seen an update on that. But I know some people are a little unhappy with it. But like still, it's still a win, right? And it's still like huge threats that you have of like this kind of union action coming. But yeah. Also met a fair amount of older people working retail and food service just to stay busy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That happens too.
I want to be real. I think that's sad more than anything. That to me, that screams they've been in. They have this system and way of life so engraved in them that they're like, I'm not working. What do I do? And then they go back to work, even though they're retired a lot of the time.
My grandpa does that. I mean, he doesn't go to a job, but like he does. He was an electrician, and he retired when I was like 10. But he still like works all the time, like flipping houses and like doing all this other kind of work. And I'm like, you don't have
people. It's a problem in America with our culture. We don't know how to relax unless. I think even when you are relaxing, you're not relaxing. Even if I'm sitting at home playing a game, I'm like, oh God, what am I doing?
Hey, Catsoop.
Hey, Cat.
Thank you for following. Hi. So, actually,
that's do you want to know something funny, Connor?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know? This is Cat. This is my
I do recognize.
I do
recognize them from your streams. Yeah.
Yeah, they're my other lifelong friend. Yeah. Besides Cole.
Hi.
So that's fun.
We're just talking about labor unions.
Actually, like, Cat loves this shit.
Yeah.
I'm
talking about this shit. It's fun. Like this is what I was hoping to get out of changing the streams to like just chatting affairs.
Say out of you and then strangle me.
I
thought you were gonna say this is what I was hoping to get out of you and then strangle me.
Anyway, no, but this is what I was hoping to get is like conversations like this, because I do really enjoy it, because like it's fun to actually like discuss these kind of like things that go on here in our country and in the modern world, and how that ties into anime and other media. Interestingly enough, people in retirement actually go back into work as one of the 4 stages of fulfillment in their retirement. That's interesting. I think
realizing it doesn't hold value, maybe.
yeah, I think one of the problems with it is that the family structures we have in America are fucked. In that, you know, with our elderly, instead of them being engaged with the family or like living with family members, they live on their own.
Some of that, I get that.
Yeah.
So a lot of that has to do, in my opinion, this is just speaking as from my place as a queer person.
Yeah.
With that, that's it. You know, with.
Oh yeah,
with
I mean for your examples, yeah, there's definitely examples where I wouldn't live with parts of my family.
Yeah.
For reasons, but like, I mean that's definitely
sometimes. Yeah, even families that get along sometimes do that.
Yeah. I
Sorry,
mean,
go
like
ahead.
that. No. It's like so my grandma, she used to live. My mom's mom. She used to live and help take care of my cousins because my aunt has a disability. She doesn't have full usage of her arms. She has a deformity in her arms, so like she's not able to like really use them that much. And so she helped raise her kids. But like they fought and they argued a lot, but like it gave her something to do until she started getting dementia. And then at that point she was at a home nearby to where my aunt was, so like they visited her and stuff, but like, you know, they weren't able to like take care of her, you know, and like my mom lived 2 states away. Other members of my family didn't really want to help, from what I'm aware of. I wasn't really involved in that because I was like 13, but
right, that's kind of that'd be kind of a lot.
Also, Kat, you are allowed to share links. That's fine if you want to just post a link, depending on what it is. Tell me what it is first.
Probably something relevant.
But if it's relevant, you can post it. It's fine. My grandma. Yeah, my grandma tried to go back to work for a bit after my grandpa passed. It helped her keep her mind sharp for a little while. Yeah, no, I mean, I understand that. You know, it's like people.
I'm sure there's.
So like what I was gonna say with like for like being involved with family, right, is that having family around you, I think, gives you something to do, gives you something to be engaged with, gives you some way to feel like you're being useful, or like you just have
like in your old
purpose.
Yeah. You mean specifically in your older age?
In your older age, yes. Yeah.
And
so for older people, yeah.
The word family is an evolving term, I think.
Yes,
so
it is.
Which I think you would agree with. We've talked about that. So
One Piece is a great example of that. The family dynamics of every single character in One Piece are fascinating.
That was a great segue. Sorry.
No, because it's true,
funny.
And it's another.
It's true, but I had to laugh. It was such a good segue.
Good, but like it's such a good example of how One Piece also shows the leftist messaging has some of the leftist messaging in it, because like it does not concern itself with the family unit or family as a traditional form. It concerns itself with family as as a means of connecting and building relationships.
People who care for each other.
In nurturing and building and caring for each other. I don't think any character in the main cast of One Piece has like present biological parents, or has like a typical biological parent structure that just doesn't really exist in One Piece.
I was gonna say Usopp has a pretty common one, but sadly common. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like Usopp has a sad one in the way that his like there's a lot of characters in One Piece where their parents, it's not that their parents are bad people, it's just that through circumstance they aren't around, you know.
Or they could just be bad parents and be good people.
Yeah,
anyway.
Exactly. That's also a thing. Here.
But yeah, I think this was just that's probably something for you to like read later on that specific topic, or if you want it right now.
Yeah, let's pull this up here. Shifting and thinking. TEDx Surrey. Anyway, let's see. Vacation.
Surrey. Is this you, Surrey?
Lost.
Surrey D.
Reinvent.
Oh.
Bill.
Bill. Bill.
It goes from phase 2 to phase 4. Where's phase 3?
Oh, maybe phase 3 is Bill.
Phase 3, Bill.
We will now unveil phase 3 of our plan. Bill.
They misspelled my name. They did. And some we just have no idea who the fuck their parents are. Yeah, that's true.
TEDx are the more official ones. TED Talks are the anyone. There's a bit I love from another group of content creators.
Mhm.
TEDx is like, the kind of thing you go to like a lecture hall to see. TED Talk is, somebody who's like, I didn't answer my emails for 200 days. This is my journey. Come with me on my stupid fucking journey. Well, I don't answer my email. And that's the example that I love. That was a bit. It's not my bit. I won't be clear, but
No.
So that's the difference there.
Yeah. Okay, that
Versus,
makes
like,
sense.
Disassembling.
I never watched that many TED Talks, to be honest. I always found I don't know. There's something about some of the messaging I heard from some of them that I didn't gel with.
Well, and that is one thing. It's sort of similar to something I like and dislike about NPR.
Oh yeah.
Anyone can get on it if they have, if they go through the right channels, if they agree to, certain things, if they have verified, they prove they know what they're talking about their subject, even if their subject is something unpleasant.
Your local public access channels and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same kind of deal with TED Talks,
Yeah.
Sometimes you get hardcore conservatives.
Sometimes you get someone who's a real crank who sounds really persuasive.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you said, shall I actually go back to work as one of the 4 stages? Which state is this? A reinvent? I'm gonna go as phase 4. Just listen.
If you don't, there's a real good chance of slipping back
Where's
into
phase 3?
phase 2, feeling like you've been hit by a bus,
Let's find
and
out.
that is not a happy prospect. Not everyone breaks through to phase 4, but those who do are some of the happiest people I have ever met. Phase
He's reached
4
phase
is a time
4.
to reinvent and rewire. But phase 4 involves answering some tough questions too. Like, what's the purpose here? What's my mission? How can I squeeze all the juice out of retirement?
Oh,
You see, it's
Why are we squeezing the juice, Grandma?
no. Grandma, not again. I don't want to.
Grandma, no one
Mom
wants to
said I
hear
don't
about the
have-
juice. I'm sorry. It's just not something I want to know about.
Mom said I don't have to squeeze your juice, Grandma.
We talked about this in school. I'm not supposed to. Anyway.
Yeah.
important that we
We're
find
family.
activities that are meaningful to us and that give us a sense of accomplishment. And my experience is that it almost always involves service to others.
Mm. Yeah.
Maybe it's helping a charity that you care about. Maybe you'll be like the old coots.
Probably bad advice, but it's free.
I like that guy's hat, Lou.
Lou.
Yeah, these folks
I like
took
the
a
idea
booth
it's
in
just
the
his name.
local farmers market and were prepared to give their advice based on their vast years of experience
Uh-huh.
to anyone who came by. So one of their
Thanks.
first visitors was a kid who wanted help with his math homework
Oh no.
on his tablet. They did the best they could. Or maybe you'll be like my friend Bill. I met Bill a few years ago
Ah,
in a
Bill!
55-plus activity group. In
Ah.
the summer, we golfed together and walked together and bicycled together. And
He was the best lover I ever had. No.
in the winter, we curl. But Bill had this idea that we
curled
should
our toes.
exercise our brains as well. He believed that there was a tremendous pool of expertise and experience in our group. And so he approached a number of folks and asked if they would volunteer to teach some of the things that they love to do to others. And almost invariably, they agreed.
They
Bill
said
himself taught 2 sessions, one
They said, Bill, what the fuck you think this is? Think it's some sort of charity? Think I just have time to give away? Well, I do, but I don't like the insinuation.
these commies. God.
on
Fucking Bill.
iPads and one
Fucking
on
Bill.
iPhones, because we were smart enough to know that a number of our members had been given these things as gifts at Christmas by their children, and that they barely knew how to turn them on. The first year, we offered 9 programs, and there were 200 folks signed up. The next year, that number expanded to 45 programs with over 700 folks participating. And the following year, we offered over 90 programs and had 2,100 registrations. Amazing.
I could do better than that.
So I actually think that is part of one of the things I think is wrong. Like if I could pick things in my
Wait, what I
world,
said?
no,
Oh.
no, not what you said, not what you said. The things that are wrong with our society. Fun Yumasuki and everything that she says. She says that she likes my videos. Evil. They're part
I
of the
only tell you I
communist
like
plot
the
to
ones
take
I
over
like.
America.
I haven't seen some of them. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Haven't seen the
anyway,
Honey
go ahead.
Pop review, huh? No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Anyway, so no, but like this actually does get to one of the things that I think is really important. With that I would like to see improved in our society, and that I want to work on myself, is engaging in local your local community. I need to work on this a lot, but like one of the things I'm actually pretty I'm a little envious of Neha with. Neha works a lot, you know, but she is more. She has more opportunity to be engaged with family, friends, and people around her, because like there's more of a culture of like just like talking and seeing your neighbor more often, you know,
Sure.
spending more time with other people, maybe like in your family and other like people outside of that. That it just doesn't really exist as much in modern America. Like, you know, there's time with family that you can spend, but if you're not close with your family or you don't connect with your family, it's hard. It can feel overwhelming to find other people, you know. And a lot of people get that fulfillment through political organizations. So people get that through
Scientology?
Scientology, yes. When your theta waves are getting read, sometimes you think of Tom Cruise, and you really just feel like, I just want to give someone my entire bank account.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Who
Yeah,
could
I'm not wrong. But...
You're not wrong. That's entirely right. No, but oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I just knocked my head, my thing. Okay, no, but yeah, it's just like a thing. I think that I think it hurts elderly people, and can also, you know, just the atomization of the American of American life, where we're just not as connected to the people around us, as connected to our communities, and as connected to just people, is one of the things that is it hurts people in being able to be more empathetic towards other people, and understanding and open to people who are not like yourself, you know, in a number of different ways. Because like one of the best things for like getting rid of different kinds of prejudice is socialization, just with other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you'd actually like talking to one of my roommates. I'm not going to give names for now, but
No, you're good.
they're a professor, and that's one of the things they talk about a lot, both in their work and just in private amongst friends, and just in general, is community being important to them. They're also a queer person,
No,
but they don't specifically just mean, you know, that. They mean finding
It's
know,
universal for everyone. Like we all need
yeah,
community.
like maybe, I'm friends with these people because they're queer, but also maybe one of them is also Mexican and they're friend with another, some other people who are Mexicans, and so on and so on. And you all learn, but you're different, but you come together. You
Yeah,
make a community.
it's one of those things like community is really important. I need to go to bed, but I got to get up early as fuck. So good night for now. Good night, Kat. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it.
Go away,
For
Cat.
following. Get the fuck out of here. No.
You don't talk to Cat that way.
Oh my gosh.
You can talk to Yosh that way.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll remember. I'll go yell at Yosh soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Cat.
No, but like yeah, no, it's because socialization, being able to connect with others and be around other people is super important, and it's one of the things that we lack a lot of community in our modern societies and modern organizations of society in America, which I think just allows people to just feel disassociated and forget that other people exist and are more complicated than what we interpret through our interactions in very limited mediums like the online space.
I think I think that's a big reason why things that I don't understand too much, like why people nowadays prefer live streams, not because it's like live and that's kind of novel and maybe you're in on a new hot joke. No, it's because they want to be part of the conversation, the community, because a lot of people go to work, come home, and they live alone with like 6 cats, or maybe they live with one other person. And that's the only people they talk to other than their online communities that they're part of.
Or people who they work with, maybe they don't like people they work with that much,
Yeah, I've very rarely worked with people that I liked.
Yeah.
Sometimes people like could relate. Like I should have liked in theory, but
very, very, very
don't
rare
get
that I would
along.
ever hang out with people from work outside of work, no matter where I was.
Actually, I, I had I would like. I think you might find this interesting. I won't say who, but I had a follower recently who was a uh, former manager of mine that was also a trans person.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember you mentioned this. Yeah,
I've mentioned it like in passing, but and I don't want to say who because that's not
no,
my
that's
place.
fine.
But they started following me, and that was interesting. And then they joined the Discord a while back. I'm not going to say, but I got along with them at work a little
Yeah.
bit, but I just found that interesting that somebody looked for that sort of community online, because as far as I'm aware, I was one of the few people they knew who fit what they were looking for
Right.
in a community,
Yeah.
of like-minded individuals, especially where where I worked at the time.
No, yeah, it's. I mean, it's definitely really hard to find people who can relate in that kind of way. I mean, that's why the queer community is so strong in a lot of that's why they had such a strong organizations in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, especially with
Mhm.
like the AIDS epidemic and stuff, and
Yep.
in the 90s, and even into the 2000s and stuff. I think it's actually one of the things that can be it's super important, especially in places like the queer community, because like in that kind of community you're dealing with so much like new information, so much different ways of trying to understand yourself, and like not being able to connect to other people who are going through that experience, that hyper specific experience in some cases, is very scary, especially
Yeah.
especially in the past 3 years where it is so much scarier for LGBT people, LGBTQ plus people than it used to
Yeah,
be, queer people. But yeah,
Yeah. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't, but it's just I don't know. It's a mouthful. I'm sorry.
queer people, it's a catch-all. It does it.
I think most folk I know have switched to using it, but no, you're right, because like when I lived in Ohio, I didn't really know a lot of queer folk, but I got along with other people who were facing discrimination. People who weren't white. Basically, that was all my friends.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I don't care.
I didn't know if you're trying to change the topic.
No,
Oh.
I was actually going to add on to that because like, one of the things that I'm a white cis man. Surprise,
Whoa.
I know. But like, one of the things I have found really, one of the things that I like engaging with because it gives me different perspectives and makes me think of things outside of myself, is the different kind of the way of viewing the world I have when, like, you know, I speak to people from entirely different cultures from mine, you know, and there's a lot of people like that out there, you know, where you just that's actually one of my favorite things at work, is I work with a bunch of people who were from other countries. I work with like this one person was Finnish. I spoke to her a lot, and you know, learned about Finland.
Oh, how was it when they were getting started?
It was good. I think they actually.
No.
I got it. I understand now.
Okay.
They're
Sorry,
Finnish.
go ahead.
Because they're Finnish. Because they
I'm
Finnish.
so
You're such a goober. Anyway, one guy I worked with, he what?
It was a painful joke even to me. Go ahead.
One guy I worked with, he was from Somalia, and his family moved from Somalia to India, and then he lived in like a suburb of of Delhi, and then he moved from there to America, and he had like a family of like 13 other kids, huge family, and like talking to like those kind of like, you know, I had people who were there who were like moms, grandmas, and like you know, you talk to all these different kinds of people and you learn a whole bunch about different kinds of perspectives. Of course, Neha, the person I speak to the most, you know, her view of like family dynamics and like, you know, the cultural makeup there is in a lot of ways similar but also very different, you know, and so like you learn a lot from those different kinds of perspectives, and it really helps in being able to engage with people who aren't like you and to be able to like just to be more open-minded, which especially when like reviewing things, you know, to bring this back to like how it benefits me as a person, though it should benefit you in a number of ways just because like, you know, it's good to know about other people, but the way it's actually had like actual real world benefits for me is it makes whenever I have to like interpret or like understand a piece of work or a piece of art that I'm looking at, you know, with a movie, a TV show, or an anime, or a game even, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier when you have those different kinds of perspectives, because there's a lot of different ways you can look at it. Just interesting.
I have I don't want to, again, I won't use names because I'm sure they'd be okay. Actually,
You're all good.
I'm like 100% positive, but I still won't do it. I had one friend who I was trying to talk to them about, just like prove your point is very, very true. I was trying to talk to them about how a lot of people were viewing Nimona as a piece of very strong trans and or non-binary not literature.
Trans art.
Art.
For people who aren't aware, Nimona is a movie on Netflix, an animated movie on Netflix about a.
Yes.
Are they
sorry.
a girl?
No, that's the thing.
They're just a person, a shape-shifting person.
Yeah, they're just a person. They're just Nimona. That's one of the things they say.
They shapeshift.
Actually,
okay. I haven't seen the movie.
Frequently.
I've seen ads for it, but I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, you're good. There's no spoilers if you're worried. But so they frequently say, "I'm just Nimona." They don't pick gendered anything. Blah blah blah. They shapeshift. So a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff in their imagery, very gender non-conforming and trans stuff. You know, a lot of that could read either way or both ways, even because they're not mutually exclusive. And I was trying to explain that to this person, and they didn't understand. But then they had a different conversation with someone who, you know, because I conform, because it's just what I am. I just identify as feminine, female. But they talked to somebody who identified as gender fluid.
Yeah.
For a bit, and then they brought up the film too, and told them what it meant to them, and that hearing their perspective helped them view this piece of art in a different way, much like you're saying. So
Yeah.
that's a real world example I've witnessed about a modern piece of art.
Yeah, it's very interesting how important it is to just talk to other people.
Yeah.
To have that curiosity, to engage in that human trait of curiosity with other people, and just like be open-minded, be comfortable with being wrong. Like that's the biggest thing for me, is like I'm comfortable with being an idiot, and for being wrong.
Me too. I mean, that's why I always say I'm dumb, because I don't know. If you think you're smart, probably too far gone.
Oh yeah. No, I mean you shouldn't always have this idea that you're right, or that you need to be right, or that that being right is important.
Even though it's very human to
no.
not to. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, no one wants to be corrected all the time,
Mhm.
because that can get really annoying. But
Actually, I don't think it could. Sorry. I need to stop. Why do I just throw jokes in everywhere? What's wrong with me?
No, it's good. It's good.
You can tell I'm a comedy streamer. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, but yeah, it's try having a serious conversation with Yosh. No,
I have. You can occasionally.
occasionally.
We won't do. We shouldn't do this on stream.
He's done it on stream. I've teased him about it here. It's fine.
Oh, okay. You get. But yeah, that's why I always call him Cole when I talk about him, because people know who I mean, but it feels more like I'm talking about my friend than I'm talking about the personality.
Yeah, I've always just
Even
called
though
him
they're not
Yosh,
that different.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I just started making that distinction even more so.
No, I get that. That makes sense. It's always difficult for me. There's so many C names.
Yeah. So what's that one? Something about a temperature.
Fuck off. But no, but yeah, I want to watch this movie. I might watch this after, because I'm not. No, I'm doing something.
Whenever you have time, I suggest you do so. I think it there's a lot I could say about it, but I'd rather wait.
It's on my watch list. I want to get through a lot of things on my anime watch list. Do you mean Celsius?
Celsius.
That's it,
No.
K-Bar. That's what Yume's talking about. I'll speak for
Celsius
her.
story.
So.
Kelvin. No, sorry, Kelvin. Oh, I was thinking of
Kelvin.
Sons of
Kelvin
the Forest.
Compliance?
My bad. That's not a streamer. No.
Oh.
Anyway, stupid
God.
joke.
It's dumb.
Nothing joke.
Dumb.
Oh God. What were we saying?
I was just saying this is I want to watch this movie. Eventually.
Oh.
I want to get through stuff on my Netflix watch list, because it just keeps growing, and it's been hard to like take things off of it.
Did you happen? This is just for me, because I'm interested. We don't have to make this a topic. Did you happen to be in my chat the one night I was discussing Heartstopper?
Yes, I think I was. It's the conversation I'm thinking. I wasn't. You were talking about Heartstopper when I was in there. I remember that.
I won't get to it. I was just. It was a weird thing.
Was it about the trans representation in Heartstopper?
Yeah, it was, and a lot of other stuff. I feel like, it was more about, I'm glad it exists. I don't feel like it was the best representation, yada yada. But I'm not going to get into that right now.
No,
we get what we get, and I'm glad it's there. That's all.
I think another Euphoria is another example of that. But yeah, no, I get you.
the anime?
No, Euphoria, the HBO show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of queer representation in that.
Yeah.
Not always the best, but you know.
Yeah, you know what anime I'm talking about, right?
No, I don't
anyway.
actually.
You can Google it on stream. There's nothing too overt, but I was a little afraid. It's like, why are you bringing that up? Just look up. Somebody gets
Oh.
Yeah. So that threw me for a loop. I don't know what's going on now.
Oh yeah, genre hentai. Okay, not gonna get into that.
But it's
Further.
yeah, but it just like aired on TV. I'm not joking. Like they barely censored. I don't. It was a weird.
Aired on American TV.
No.
Okay, it's
Japan.
like
But
Japan
even
TV.
then-
I could believe that.
But even then, like
Even then,
usually
yeah.
they restrict anyway.
They have
I want
tasteful
more.
mist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But this didn't.
God.
Unless you're talking about like the mist after she was electrocuted while pissing herself. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
You shouldn't. I don't. It was a sad coincidence that they were both named the same thing. That's on my mind now.
You're good. You're good. You're all good. We have different. This is why I like having other people on in these conversations, because you get such different perspectives.
Yeah, really insightful. The UMA point of view.
No, it is though. Because this has
Like,
been
people
great.
just bring me on their streams because they think I'm gonna be suspicious.
Well,
I'm not gonna say the Among Us term because I'm avoiding it for some reason.
I'm not gonna
Anyway.
say you're not suspicious. No.
Yeah, no, I mean you can't. But
No, but no,
It's
you're very fun to talk to, and this is because like you made 3.5 hours fly by like nothing. Like that's for just talking. Like that's hard.
it's not just. No, that doesn't work. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. But with that, my energy for speaking is starting to dwindle.
Hang on. Did you say what you wanted to say about One Piece and My Lovely Wife? I tried to bring up My Lovely Wife, but I brought it up very briefly.
Oh, I mean, I didn't. I
If you
said what
did-
I wanted to say about One Piece. I didn't really
Okay.
get to what I wanted to say about My Happy Marriage, but that's okay because
My
I'll
Happy
be doing a
Marriage.
video about it anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a more literal term. Whatever, it's fine.
Okay.
My Happy Marriage.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. For some, there is actually. I think there's a thing called My Lovely Wife. That's a video game. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
That's a game I've played. That's why I got confused.
Yeah, no, My Happy Marriage. I'm going to do a video on that, so that my thoughts will come out no matter what, and we'll have other opportunities to talk about it. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a little bit of a raidy poo.
Yeah. Do I want to stream, Connor?
Do you want to stream?
I don't know. Let me see. Who's doing what?
Nat and Yosh. Nat's playing Minecraft. Yosh is playing Tears of the Kingdom. Cringing Crisis is having an art class, but on a budget.
They're teaching Void how to draw. That sounds kind of interesting. I'm not gonna watch either way, even if I don't rate, because I don't watch streamers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love streaming. I love my friends who are streamers. They're good at it, but I just don't do it.
It's hard for me to get time for it because, like, oh, I have time to watch something. I should watch the anime that I need to watch so I can have more things to review.
Yeah, no, I just it's not the type of content I consume. I'll watch a VOD on your stream, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
gotta
know.
post
I'm
more of my
weird.
VODs. I've gotten behind on that. That's fine.
God, I feel like I got energy that I could stream.
You
know
want to
what I mean?
stream?
Yeah, I'll just go do it. Whatever. I'll go
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, Connor.
I guess goodbye.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I apologize.
No, you're good. No, why are you apologizing?
Because I don't know. It's the last
We
thing.
still gonna play Dark and Darker, or are we gonna?
I'm gonna do something else. I don't know. Not that I don't enjoy playing with you, but I think the fun was gonna be the three of us.
I was looking forward to that. All right, that's
I
fine.
was too.
Okay.
I would say, do you want to bug Yosh? But
Yeah, I don't know. He's playing Tears of the Kingdom, so I don't. He's really resistant to changing stuff,
I know.
which is understandable.
Um,
like he's doing his own thing. I don't know.
No, I know.
don't
I
think
would be the same way. Because like that. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I can tell you that. Look, I can tell you my. I'm just stalling like I always do.
No, that's fine.
My current thought process is either I'll play Deus Ex or I won't stream at all and I'll go watch some stuff like anime probably.
Do you want me to raid you?
I don't know. That's the thing. You know what? Just raid somebody else.
All right, I'm gonna raid Nat.
If I do stream, it'll be in at 12. So, okay.
We're gonna give Nat a little raid, and so
Really
be
cool.
sure to check me out on my socials, in the Discord, with that new One Piece video, which is about to hit 5,000 views. Kill me. I don't.
Oh, okay. If I kill you, do I gain your viewers?
No, those go to Neha. No.
What do you mean? They don't even. Okay. Sure.
I'm actually right. Neha's been pushing me to make a vlog for India, because she thinks it'll do really well.
I think so.
I'm excited to do it, because I do like making vlogs. I made a few of them, travel vlogs. So I'm gonna do it. So look forward to that. I'm gonna be going to India. So no stream next week. I forgot to mention this earlier. No stream next week. I'm gonna be in California with family. Stream after though, with Ghosty, I believe. Pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ghosty's next guest. Not this coming Friday, but the Friday after. So I want to thank you all for coming by. Hope you all have a great day, a great night, or whatever it is you're having, and stay rad. Go check out the video when you can. Other than that, though, cold raid to Nat. Thank you, Yume, for joining. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I found out there was a piece of quesadilla left in the bottom of my food thing.
Hold on.
Like under the paper that the quesadilla was on. I'm really happy right now. Goodbye, everybody.
All right, goodbye. I canceled the raid because I didn't want it to raid while
No,
we were talking. So.
Oh, I was hoping it would have. I thought that would have been funny. Because I said nothing of consequence.
I know, but you never know.
You didn't know that. Yeah, you didn't know that going into it.
All right.
Now it's kind of awkward.
All right. Fuck all of you.